Got me stressed the F out.
Okay, well,
are you playing Disgaea?
Yeah, man. It's good. It's really good, man.
I know. It's always been good. It's been good since the first game. It's been good since the first game.
Which I finally
the last one I played was 3.
Okay.
Well, I own 6 and I've played 6.
You can
this one grabs me a lot more.
That item world is serious, bro. It's serious business.
It is. It is. I tried to come in here with some beefed up characters, and I'm still like getting surprised. I don't know if you see, they got this new skill where like anybody on the board, if they've taken enough damage, can grow into a Gundam and punch the whole board.
Hey, Kofi.
No. Which this guy is this?
7 only. It's the first new feature in 7, and 7 now has online versus, yo. Online versus, and it's got programmable AI, so you can actually like program all of your characters and then have them fight. And they got ornaments now, you have brackets and everything. It's crazy.
I mean, it's a game that never really ends, though.
Right.
Because you can just do infinite shit in the item world, like you can be there for untold amounts of hours.
Kofi, open up a Word doc. I've got some animes for you to watch.
Damn it.
And I'm only going to give you good ones. And I actually, you know that gate one I told you about? I actually got the full name. Yes, I do actually have the full name for it. Okay, so the first one is, I love the title of this. It's not just called Gate, it's actually called Gate, thus the JSDF fought there.
Ooh. Gate? And then what?
Gate / thus the JSDF fought there. Yeah, the Japanese subtitles. The next one is how a realistic hero rebuilt the kingdom. Again, I'm giving you the English titles for these as well.
Is it realistic hero built the kingdom?
How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
Yo, that Flash movie is problematic, dude.
I can't believe Michael Keaton is back.
I can, but like that Ezra Miller nigga needs to jump off a cliff and kill himself. He needs to actually kill himself, so I'm good.
And now you gotta deal with 2 of them.
I really hope they write what you need. I don't think it's
doing another Flash
personally, I don't think
another one?
Here's the thing though, they're basically treating this like they're basically treating the Flash movie as their Flashpoint paradox. They're basically going to reset.
I like that story idea.
Yeah, now here's the thing. It looks from the trailer, it looks kind of cool. My thing is I know what this movie's end goal is. It's resetting the DCEU so that James Gunn can try and unfuck it basically.
And that's what James Gunn said in this little video.
I still want Bat though. I don't want them to get a new Batman.
Patterson's Batman is staying. That has been confirmed.
Because I am a fan of Bat, big time.
Yeah. No, Patterson is staying on as Batman. They are going to treat it as an Elseworld. They're going to treat that lineage, I believe, as an Elseworld story.
Yeah,
two has already been confirmed to be happening. I think it's coming out in 2024 or 2025. So another one is Skeleton Knight in Another World. Yes, I'm just basically promoting my isekai fucking nerd.
Oh, right? What was it called again?
Skeleton Knight in Another World.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need. And those guys mighty with cheese.
There's actually been a fucking good amount. Like, there's been an oversaturation of isekais, but like some good ones have been slipping through the cracks.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G.
And then the last one I could recommend is that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Okay, I've heard that one.
that one's good and shockingly heartbreaking. That one got me choked up in the first fucking season.
Wow.
And the second season.
I'm still trying to watch Vinland Saga. Like, I'm mad.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I finally watched Chainsaw Man. I finally watched Chainsaw Man.
I have yet to watch that.
I think it's mid.
Thank you, Dante. Hey Dante, can I get a high five, brother? That shit's trash, bro. That shit is trash. Thank you.
Here's the thing.
I have no menu.
I don't necessarily say trash. I say it's mid as fuck because it's got two good things going for it. One, the action scenes. The action scenes are actually really well done, and the animation, like when your brain start, because they do reasonably trick you sometimes into remembering. They do trick your mind into realizing it does jump from 2D to 3D sometimes, but it's sometimes hard to notice. The fucking story, the characters, I could give shit. I got through the first fucking season, and I'm like, man, I do not care for the first
Wow, you went through whole seasons and you didn't care. I will take that very much to heart. You actually watched it.
You see this start crumbling now. Mad strokes start mumbling now.
What I'm saying, you
Just
watched
saying, reach
that
for
many
cloud.
episodes
Plot
and still
twist,
didn't
I'm the
like
one
it.
with the
People
key.
used to do
Plot
the
bliss, know
episode
the
test.
high free.
Nobody
Different
actually watched the
continents, I be
entire
torn.
season and
We
did
never
it.
left,
the
making yours
entire
look boring.
fucking
See, we
season.
win at the
The
end,
only
it's spoiler
standout
warning. Cause they
episode,
keep
in my
beating up
opinion,
on my
was
brother whole
episode
planet. They
6.
calling me toxic like global
When
warming.
they're
But
in
they
the
keep
when
tuning
they're in
in
the
once again
hotel,
and
and
again. I'm the one
the
at the top, just the
Infinite
former
Demon
warning.
just is fucking with them
I'm De Niro when it come to
putting them in a
movies.
time
Get De
loop.
Niro
That was the
entertaining
only good
groupies.
one because it was
Habanero
a really
come to sue me.
interesting
But I
concept.
hop on the game to
And
please
the
what
fact
up
that
whenever my girl get
basically
moody.
perpetuates
Wake
your
up with the
fear that
gang, y'all
makes
going
you
sane.
that
Catching
makes
the
you
bills on
even
the
stronger.
duty.
Like
I'm the stick, see,
that
I'm locked in.
was
For the box office
legitimately
like
the
10.
only
Back
good
days, the
fucking
box
episode.
nowadays, they ain't
Denji,
throwing hands. Mama
like
said we got more
initially I
advanced.
was
One thing
with
about
Denji,
me,
I was
I
like,
adapt by the
okay,
Glock
this
10. Keep me
this
safe from
guy,
the block in. The
fully
game
on
kept
board
me
with
off the
him.
block. I
He
got flex
wants to
about looting my
experience all the
Rubens.
things he
I can
hasn't
shit on you with my
before, like
computer.
jam on toast.
See my
I
graphics card
totally
cause
can
one
get
of your
behind
damn
that.
job
But
can afford
then
to
they
pay.
slowly made him into a raping
Big as hell,
because
details.
now he's doing all this shit so he
Load
can
the
kiss
clip
and
and
grope
record
women.
the clip. It's go all say
And
to
I'm
that
like,
SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me
I'm
when
sorry,
I
you
see
have
tune into
just
that VGP.
you have just pushed this character into not the realms of uncomfortability, but the realms of unbelievability. In a world of monsters. Like I would imagine that there'd be many other things in life he would want to try and do. I do not care if he's an adolescent or going through puberty or 16 years old. I'm sorry. I want to say any normal human being, but he's not exactly normal. But you get what I mean. Would want to try many different things, but no, we immediately jump to groping women, and then he gropes what is effectively a dead woman, because power is a fiend. That is a demon that has possessed a human body. That is a dead body. And then they kill off the more interesting characters. So yes, no, I do not care for Chainsaw Man. I don't. I think it's mid as fuck. Right? I'm hosting today. I thought you was. Oh, am I hosting? All right. Well, you might want to put me in center view, motherfucker. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dante Crisis back with your weekly dose of vitamin G. Sorry, I have been away. I'm sure that shit has fallen apart in my absence, but I am here to correct the ship, as it were, because unfortunately, medication really does fuck with one's perception of reality sometimes. But with me today is our esteemed panel of chuckle fucks. First of all, the man who, to be fair, the only thing ever retreating with this man is his hairline. Mr. Juve Sensei, how are you today, my man?
Oh, sorry. I have been spending a whole bunch of time at a Dean Toadblatt's School of Sorcery into that particular game already. Whole bunch of fun.
Have you forbidden spells?
I keep every time I get I just got back on the main story path. Every time I try to, I go, ooh, shiny. And I disappear off onto a side quest and get leveled up. I'm well over leveled over the mainline story at this point. So I'm stomping shit a little bit in the main quest. But next is getting at least the killing curse. I might not get all free. Might just get that. Because I also realize you only get enough stat points to level up certain things. You can't max everything. So yeah. I'm gonna act accordingly. I won't max the Dark Arch tree, but I will max the stuff that involves the killing curse.
Okay, fair enough. So long as you're having fun with that game of unknown unknown name.
I told you it is Toad Black School of Sorcery, bro.
That is very true. That is very true. Okay, next the
That's the
returning.
only name I know.
Damn it.
There are no
Alright,
Harrys or none of that. It's all it's Nigel Planer.
Jube, I think your camera froze as well. So yeah, am I still here? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure because I was wondering. Wait, was it me that was lying, or was it just just his camera? All right, but next, the returning king of Nintendo, Mr. Zero. How are you today, my man? How are you feeling?
I am doing very well, guys. Glad to be back. Extended hiatus. Life is weird sometimes, so it'd be like that. But I'm back. I'm here. What I've been playing, I too have been playing. You know, a game that features some spells and levels of magic. That doesn't need to be named. It's cool. It's neat. Like if that's your thing, sure. But I'll admit what I've been crazy excited about, and like it hurt my heart to hear that like nobody seemed to like this. Midnight Suns. God, do I love Midnight
Nice.
Suns?
Yeah.
I played it.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with this
How
game.
was it?
I think Jube likes it too.
I'm obsessed with this fucking game.
Yeah.
Like and like I've played XCOM, and so like it's not it's XCOM, or at least by the XCOM developer, but it's not exactly XCOM. Like I think the card system like really works well because I'm into that. It's surprisingly good. Only thing it doesn't do is probably take it to the next level of like, it has its Fire Emblem mechanics where you know you can quote unquote romance your heroes and or friends and or whoever. Uh, but it's a Marvel game, so they won't let you take it too far. So I can't have my character fuck Blade. I can be best friends with Blade, but but if I want to take a little further. But I think the game's awesome. The story's kind of cool. The characters are neat. Um, I saw that a Deadpool DLC just got released or is on its way to be released shortly. But I'm surprised how much I like that game. Um, and running through my childhood again and playing some Valkyrie Profile, Lennon.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Putting on your suit.
Yeah, having to rise my Nobon Harrier and so forth. It's so funny because I've mentioned Star Ocean is my favorite game, and they're both made by Enix. And it immediately took me back to the time as a kid because the menu sound for both games are the exact same. And I was like, whoa, this took me back like really quick. So I've been having an absolute blast playing that game. And I'm doing a bit of a walkthrough because I want to get the perfect ending.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do all of that.
All right. As long as you've been having fun. Next on the docket is the man of the PlayStation variety, Mr. Creative Kofi. What have you been up to, my guy?
What's going on, everybody? I have had such a wonderful beginning of the year. Oftentimes, I like to kick off the year with resolutions to beat very long games with lots of hours. And I am so proud to say that I finished 150 hours of Kuro no Kiseki 2 earlier this week. And it's a wonderful experience. This Trail series has a very adult theme setting in this arc. As people know, this is a 13-game series that started in 2004, and Falcom is still crazy by releasing this game in only Japanese and then asking Nippon Ichi Software America to localize it later, like 3 years later. And that's still been the narrative. So while the second game I just finished, the first game has not been localized yet and may not be localized until 2024. So the game I'm describing may not be out until 2025. But it's awesome. And when I finish this game, it will be at least a trilogy. There was an interview that came out on Famitsu recently that said that more world building will be in the sequel. This game is very personal. It kind of gives a lot of individual character development as opposed to world building. So I was very appreciative of that. The battle system is as good as it's ever been. To give people an idea of what makes the uniqueness in preparing the battle system for this game is you use a configuration system for your skills like materia, but it's a derivative of materia that has a mini metagame where, let's say you're using materia in Final Fantasy VII. You have, I don't know, an attack, a poison, a summon, and you can junction certain. I'm saying junction like Final Fantasy VIII, but you could have certain materia connect to other materia, right? And it would create some sort of growth opportunity for one materia to get better. Trails puts us on a whole different level where, depending on what skills you have configured next to each other, you unlock additional skills like extra hits, like automatic reflecting of magic back at your opponent. And when you get into setting up a team that's perfect, you could have like your evasion tank or your magic tank. And I literally spend like 5 hours in total of my overplay time just setting up my orbaments is what it's called. So so glad to be done that. I immediately returned to Disgaea 7. I'm already 40 hours into Disgaea 7. The story is really good. And the voice acting is funny and is keeping me engaged. And I couldn't believe that when I first started the demo for the game before I bought it, I really wasn't feeling it. I was like, I was waffling. But then I ended up spending 15 hours on the demo, really loving it. And this is also to Jubei because he's very familiar with Disgaea, that a very specific gamble mechanic from Disgaea 2 is back in the series. And it kind of lets you break the game, but it's so fun. And I'll talk about that later because I know I'm kind of long in the tooth. Last thing is I did play the demo to Octopath Traveler 2. I only played it for an hour, but I really love it. It is my purchase for this month, so I don't really care about like how much time in the demo because I'm going to buy it. But it's really great. I played as Ostel, which is like the beast tamer lady girl. And I ended up taming the owl, and I just kind of wandering around the village learning about her world. So,
Ocelot?
I'm playing it with the Japanese text, so I guess I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great, and just happy that I've already finished. If I finish Disgaea 7, it'll already be 3 RPGs, and we're not even into March. So keep it going.
All right, cool. Next. Omar, what have you been up to, my guy?
Yeah. So I finished Axiom Verge 2. I had a blast with it. That's a sequel I recommend. I recommend the entire franchise. It's 2 games. And I went back to on and off with .hack GU, second game, and I started Salt and Sanctuary. And it's a Metroidvania Soul game. And it's an indie game, and it's pretty good, actually. The sequel, I think it's a sequel. It's in discount right now for €8 if someone is interested in it. And other than that, yeah, that's about it. I'm looking forward to next end of this week. Then I'm gonna be able to play games like Hogwarts Legacy, Forspoken, and all that jazz. I'm super excited. Oh yeah, just like Kofi, I downloaded Octopath Traveler, but I have yet to jump into it, because I never played the first one, and I don't know if this one you only have 3 hours or you can repeat
3 hours
playing
per
the game.
character.
Okay, per character. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. So yeah, that might be something I'm gonna do next.
All right, cool. Next, Mr. Pharaoh Bazaar, what have you been up to, my guy? Aside from watching the Super Bowl.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This week, I got to get like a good 2-3 hours of Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core. Got that in. Knocked out a bunch of missions. Knocked out a couple chapters. And a little bit of Madden for the Super Bowl. That was about it. Quiet. I've been working on building the damn app all week, so saving up all my time.
The last thing I'll say for you, Pharaoh, that Yakuza Ishin comes out on the 21st, so it's my job to get you that physical disc. And for everybody else, that Pharaoh has received all the other games for the Games Challenge, either digitally or physically, but it's only 4 games to finish by December 31st.
Step it on up.
You got a lot of work to do. All right, cool. As far as myself, oh god, this shit with Virgin Media has fucking demoralized me. And yes, I'm gonna use a big word there. It has demoralized me. I've not been able to play any of the games that I've been having set up for streams, because I've been worried that it's gonna cut out all of the goddamn stuff. We are like halfway through fucking February, and I've still not heard back from them about the wire pull. It is ridiculous. We're probably going to get either a call today or tomorrow, and if we don't, we're going to call them back, and I'm going to rip them a new fucking asshole, because this is ridiculous, and I'm still waiting on this. But that doesn't mean I haven't been able to get some gaming in. Been playing some Wolfenstein: The New Order, because goddamn, that game's a classic in my eyes now. Finally got around to playing some Earth Defense Force 5. That game is terrifying. That game is terrifying for all the stupidest reasons. Like it is one thing to have it's a fight a giant spider. It is another to just have like a horde of them, like hundreds of them, just barrel over a fucking cliff, just coming towards you. That is terrifying. Thank God they're squishy. And I will give that game credit, and I'm curious how many if with 6 it looks a bit better, because it's not the most graphical intensive game. But I'm very surprised that game holds a frame rate as well as it does with that many enemies that can be on screen at once. It's genuinely shocking, and it's a lot of fun. Been playing some more. Sorry. I've been playing some more Phasmophobia. That's been a lot of fun. Been playing some Red Dead Online, which has been a lot of fun as well. Some Left 4 Dead 2. And started some new Let's Plays recently. One new Let's Play and continuing another in Dead Space remake, which, for me now stands in the top 5, if not the top 3 best remakes of all fucking time. I've not even fucking completed the game yet. I'm on the last 2 chapters, but I will say without a shadow of a doubt, this game is a buy at full price. And I look forward and hope that Motive are given the keys to the kingdom for the rest of the series. Like, I want them to see, I want to see what they do continuing this, because this was a game made by fans of the original Dead Space. And we need more of this. Like, people who care about a series continuing it on. We need to see more of this. And it bugs the fuck out of me that the more I see, because I haven't seen the latest numbers, but it still bugs me that fucking Callisto Protocol outsold this game.
Whoa, and Callisto Protocol was quote unquote not successful, or at least not what the distributor wanted, right? Home Focus or whatever.
Yep. It hurts my fucking feelings. I am saddened by this, and I hope that it picks that, like, it gets a resurgence and people go out and buy it en masse, because this game is fucking amazing. It is amazing. Outside of that, there has been another game I've been playing. I've been playing and going to be doing a Let's Play of South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Jesus Christ, this game. South Park: The Stick of Truth did not prepare me for some of the shit that they did with this. As soon as spoiler alert for early bit, spoiler alert for a fucking for an old game like this. I walked. One of the missions is to go and see the priest, and he says, "Go into this dark room to hear the word of God." And my immediate thought was, there's gonna be some priests in here with diddly hands, isn't there? And then 2 fucking priests show up. And one of them has the attack where he pulls out a fucking crucifix with anal beads out of his ass to try and whack me with them.
What? Pause. Why? Why?
Because they're very fucking weird they're Catholic priests that like diddling young boys. But I was taken aback. I was like, oh god, this is what we're going to be in for. Oh, and that's not even going into the parody of racial profiling in this game. The first fucking thing they tell you when they tell you the difficulty. What do you want to play on easy or hard? And if you want to play on hard, for some reason your pigmentation becomes darker and darker over the difficulty. This fucking game is so fucking
This sounds like an uninstall. This absolutely sounds like
have you never watched?
Need to be on my hard.
I've heard about that. The difficulty is higher depending on your complexion.
That's very funny.
That is okay. So here's the thing. That is not entirely true. So if you're black, basically, if you're black, they even turn around and say to you, well, Cartman turns around and says to you, this doesn't impact game difficulty, just every other aspect of your life.
That'll do it.
Because the cops in this game in South Park are incredibly racist. In fact, they want you to go and beat the hell out of a South Park resident they claim is a drug lord, but his only crime is being black. This game doesn't pull any punches. It really does not, and that's what I love about South Park. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of it goes, because I was told that... No, I wasn't told. I've seen that the combat was a lot different from the original, because the original was more of a turn-based RPG. This is more of a isometric turn-based RPG. Kind of like... I want to say XCOM, but like you go across grids and fight. So... I'm enjoying it so far. It's led to a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, South Park: The Fractured Butthole coming soon. It's going to be amazing. It's so funny. All right. But with that being said, I think we should move on to the first topic. Pharaoh, what is our first topic, sir?
First topic of the day: Game Pass Guild Sale.
Are you muted, Pharaoh?
Am I muted? I don't think I'm. Yeah, first topic of the day: Xbox Skills. Game Pass Skills.
Okay, right. Well, let's bring up the article and I will read it out for us. So, as everybody knows, the CMA, the UK Competition and Market Authority, the CMA in the UK, released their findings on the Activision Blizzard deal, and some details came out through that, I believe. And one of them is that apparently Xbox Game Pass in general cannibalizes sales. So let's read the article. Microsoft has admitted that putting games on the Xbox Game Pass subscription service leads to a market decline in base sales. A report by GL Biz, the confirmation was included as part of the UK Commission and Market Authority's provisional report on the Microsoft proposed $69 billion merger with Activision Blizzard. Embedded in the 277-page document was a short paragraph revealing that Microsoft had submitted an internal analysis to the government body that showed a redacted % decline in base game sales 12 months following the addition of Game Pass. The admission clashes with remarks made by Xbox boss Phil Spencer back in 2018, wherein he claimed that adding titles to the service actually boosted sales. Microsoft's move to acquire Activision Blizzard has attracted the intense scrutiny from antitrust regulators across the globe, and from its primary competitor, Sony PlayStation. Many of the objections surrounding the merger stem from the fear that it would give Microsoft the power to make popular franchises such as Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox consoles. Sony had previously voiced its concerns about the deal in November 2022 statements in which it highlighted that the merger could lessen current and future competition in multi-game subscription services, such as its own PlayStation Plus offerings. In the same statement, the entertainment giant claimed that Xbox Game Pass had over 29 million subscribers. Earlier this month, the European Union reportedly presented Microsoft with a formal antitrust warning regarding the deal, while across the pond, the US Federal Trade Commission is seeking to block the merger with a lawsuit of its own. So, nobody can just shit on the UK for being against this, because apparently a lot of people are. Because yes, one of the things that the CMA put forward as a remedy for, well, one of their things was, and I'll read this from a separate article just to give everybody clarence on their basic thought on it, is the remedy that they put forward to address the competition issue included selling or spinning off the business that makes Call of Duty or the entire Activision arm with the combined Activision Blizzard. So basically, for me, when I saw that, I was like, they're basically calling Activision's bluff on saying that this isn't just for Call of Duty. Like, because they specifically highlight, you get rid of Call of Duty, we'll allow the deal through, but if you want Call of Duty, then we're not going to allow the deal through, because I believe it's been said before that this deal wasn't just about Call of Duty. So if it's not, but again, for me, this is more of a bluff call than anything else. But yeah, okay. I'm not going to take charge on this one first. I'm gonna give it to Omar, because I know there's going to be a lot of "I told you so's" in this. So go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because the amount of stuff that Microsoft have said about Call of Duty revenue, how much it makes, and all that jazz.
No. I only brought that up as an addendum. We're talking about Game Pass cannibalizing game sales. This is also, sorry, I also should add as an addendum, they do not specify. It is redacted the amount of percentages, which for me is kind of suspect. Why it's redacted. Maybe in time we'll get the unredacted version. But the other thing that isn't specifically stated out is it says base game sales, so that it doesn't separate digital or physical. So I think for the sake of this discussion, for the sake of that, we should assume when they mean base game sales, it should mean both digital and physical as well, because they don't actually separate the two. It's just under the umbrella of base game sales. So yeah, go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, so about that, this provides two problems for Microsoft. First is the sales, but now also because of the lack of sales, you're not gonna get a lot of third-party deals. The companies now don't want to do business with you, or even they don't have the capability of doing business with you because your audience are not that support them. We've seen it with sales. I just agree with the a tweet from people asking is there going to be a physical sale for Xbox? And I said no, we can't do that. Only digital. So clearly, Xbox is being impacted by Game Pass, and this proves that PlayStation can't sustain a concept model like Game Pass. And I'm curious if Microsoft gonna drop a Game Pass, or if they're gonna keep banking on it. And I'm genuinely curious what's next for Microsoft, especially if this.
Thanks, Alex.
I was asking why would they drop it. I'm not.
What did you say?
I was just asking why would they drop it.
Because they're losing market share. They're losing market share. They're losing their audience. They're not growing well.
Are they losing market share? They've been
that's
gaining
a
market share
bold statement.
They've been gaining market share the entire generation.
They really have, but you're just never mind. I'll let you.
Pharaoh, next.
Pharaoh, let him land his plane, bro. Let him land his plane.
Let him land the plane. Shut up.
Just let Omar finish. Trying to cut him off and take over. I was just asking questions.
We'll figure it out. Let him get his plane. We can ask questions afterwards. Let him land his plane, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
What I meant by marketers, I mean audience. But taking point is Microsoft have now admitted something that everyone should have known, that Game Pass lead to less sales, and I'm curious what's next for them. But that's about it from me.
All right. I'll go next because there's a couple of things that I feel need to be attended to right now. So I'm not entirely surprised by this either, but there's a couple of things that are worth noting. One, it mentions a decline in base game sales. Now, is that across the board with first party and third party, or is that just one or the other? The problem is what we're being
Exactly.
told is kind of a bit broad. Now, if it's third party, that's still a big blow for Microsoft, because here's the thing: even after the initial 12 sales, yes, the initial sales are a big thing, but as time has proven, especially in today's market, sales 12 months from now are just as important as initial sales, because that's why you've got companies keeping up with quarterlies, like, oh, we sold this many games 12 months out, or maybe 16 months out. Like they actually do. They care more about longevity sales now than they have before. Initially, it was just, oh, we can sell, because again, digital copies don't go down in price even 12 months after a sale, after launch. So like the longevity of sales does mean something. So if this is third party and it's we'll be generous and say a 30%, maybe 20% decline in sales. That's still a big hit, especially in today's market, when again the longevity of sales matters just as much as initial sales. Especially with like battle pass models and microtransactions and stuff like that. They want to add more people to the ecosystem they're putting into the games. Otherwise, you'll end up with live service games dying, like Knockout City, Back for Blood, like all of these live service games that just recently dropped the fuck off the map. But I don't think this is initially going to. I don't think this is going to be as much of a problem for Microsoft's first party. If at all going to be a problem for them, because they can dictate and say, we're going to have it on Game Pass permanently. So basically they're just eating the cost from the discount, as well as eating it from the Game Pass subscriptions as well. This more to me implicates a possible problem with third-party games going forward. It doesn't mention anything about subscription sales, but I think that this does. If this is how it's seeming, where it is third party more being affected, I think this does lead into something I've turned around and said multiple times, that Xbox is kind of setting up their ecosystem for people just wanting their games through Game Pass and not necessarily wanting to buy the games like full price. Like it seems like they're slowly moving people into that ecosystem, whether it's a big percentage or not. If 12 months after people are not buying the game because it's not on Game Pass, again, that could hinder third parties if third parties don't remain on Game Pass. At least that's how it's seeming. I'm taking a more rational approach to this personally. Jube, what do you think?
I wish
Yeah,
we
5
knew
minutes.
what. Yeah, I wish we knew what percentage it cannibalizes sales. And two, when Phil was talking about how like it improves sales, he specifically listed Forza Horizon 4 and State of Decay 2. Like he didn't say third party in any of that. He was literally talking about in-house,
What we've seen.
which makes sense.
Okay.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean that's one thing, but the nature of the business is they don't want that one-off game sale anymore. They want recurring revenue. Because in the long run, that's more money than just the one-off game sale, technically speaking. If you got somebody that subscribed to the service for 6 months, playing the same just to play like, a long ass RPG or something, then you got to do some math, whether that's 10 by 6 months, which is $60, the cost of the game, you know what I mean? Or 15 by 6 months. I mean, after you factor in like third party cuts and all that other shit, when you have when you throw a game out there, that publisher has to get a cut. You know what I mean? Like, you guys gotta get paid all that shit. But if you can keep a lot of that in house and just get a sub, like, hey, whether they buy it or not, doesn't matter. We're gonna make money off them monthly. Plus, in my case, personally, if I don't buy a game, I'm more likely to buy DLC for a game because I didn't have to spend money on the game. So I'm more likely to get like a season pass or a deluxe edition or something like that, or a deluxe edition upgrade. I did that for Hi-Fi Rush, like the little $10 deluxe edition. Like, I didn't have to pay for the game. Like, sure, let me give you $10 and get the bonuses anyway. Like, I'm okay with that. I think third parties kind of see that as they don't want that lump sum, that maybe they're not cut in on the recurring part. I think when you cut a Game Pass deal, it's just here's your sales up front and that's it. Like, you don't necessarily get royalties from it unless you work that out in a deal with them, perhaps, which means that your game would probably stay in longer. Um, it's not crazy. Their business strategy is, I mean, Microsoft as a whole is they want you in a sub, whether that's Microsoft 360, with their Office shit, whether that's Game Pass, they want you paying them for a monthly basis to access the stuff that you want to access from them, as opposed to the one-off purchases. So it is weird. I wish we had more numbers to go off of, but a lot of that shit is redacted for whatever reason. Hopefully it comes out and we find out. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure they expected there to be some loss in sales, and I think the Game Pass model really helps indies who don't really have a leg to stand. Like, they're not expecting. There's no expectation of sales really for an indie. So them getting that influx of upfront money is like great, and then you'll still have people that are gonna buy it because it's an indie title, so it's also on the cheaper side, more than likely. So hey, I get a discount because it's in Game Pass. Yeah, why not buy it? I tend to buy indie games that are in Game Pass more so than like big titles that are there. But it just depends. That's just me personally. If they're losing sales, I think in the long run, I don't think it matters. I just think in the short term, it's just the optics are bad on it. But
I think that does fully depend on how much of a percentage. Because
exactly,
if it's like a 60 or 70% loss, then that's huge.
Like,
no.
I'm
saying that if it's on that side, then that's really bad. If it's like 10%, then maybe give or take. That depends on who that's affecting. Because if that's affecting like big companies, they can fucking eat that and eat shit as well. But if it's like a 60 to 70% like loss after 12 months, that's huge.
I think it comes down to. I honestly think it just comes down to the game. Because you got developers like the people that did like Descenders or whatever the fuck that game is, the bike riding game. They are like all over Game Pass. They're just like, look at our sales. This is healthy for us. Like, this made us successful. I think it really just depends on the deal they cut and the game and what the game is.
Yeah, and especially if the studio as well. If it's an indie, I can't see any. I can only see an upside to it if it's an indie.
Exactly, and I also feel like a live service game or a game that's going to have like ongoing content is going to have a better chance at getting a sale versus something that's like a one-off. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, if it's like a one and done, well, like, why buy it when I can just play it? But if it's like ongoing, like, okay, now I'm incentivized to kind of just buy it because it's going to be around.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the game, for real.
All right, go Fair. I want your optimistic take, or your pessimistic take, or realistic take, whichever take you've got.
I always I believed that it would call sales, but when I talked to people in the community, I think it was more in the hardcore space, starting with FC Violent, they would say the same thing as Jube. That it gives them an incentive to kind of enjoy an IP more. There's tons of great DLC, like for example, for Mercenaries. The Mercenaries DLC for Mech Assault, Mech Warrior, among other things. But seeing this, I'm not surprised. But you guys are right. Not knowing the exact percentages, seeing that Phil could have worded things in a way that was about a specific IP and not a blanket statement, is fine. But in the scenario that, let's say, the number is significant, let's, I guess, paint a theory. I think it speaks to no matter what happens. Let's say in some crazy bizarro world, because I do believe that this deal in some way, shape, or form will go through. Maybe there's some sort of contingencies added. Microsoft needs to have a healthy stable of IPs to keep in rotation for Game Pass, since sales are not priority. Right? Let's be honest. They're okay with some of those sales at retail not being there because of this subscription model. So. Um, Even with with Bethesda, with Activision Blizzard, that's a good potential stable of IPs. They might, go for a lot more just so that they can have those Game Pass subscriber numbers to just continue to grow. And to be on not just the console, but on PC Game Pass, and then obviously they stream to all devices, right? Your phone, your TV, and who knows what'll happen in the next 20 years. So I just think it's an all-in mentality right now. Um, and I just don't see them going in any other direction than committing to this.
Well, to be fair, like they've got no other choice. Like they they've invested so much into this, and
Right.
they've been pushing it so goddamn hard, and so much of their player base is, God, quite frankly, rabid for it. And vocal about it. Though with social media, you don't know if it's the vocal minority or majority. Like if they suddenly drop this, it would be fucking catastrophic. Like it'd be the Xbox One launch all over again.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like it is kind of like, I was going to make a football comparison, but I won't do that. It does feel like an
Fumble.
all or well, I was thinking like a fourth down. It's kind of like you're going for it. And I don't know. They have I feel like even though no company, no matter how much money they have, want to lose money year over year, but they could go. I just feel like they could do whatever they want with the capital they have and the proper strategies and all the smart people. So them failing to maintain Game Pass, it's going to be a wild ride. I'm watching obviously from the outside. I spend money on individual IPs. I'll be buying Forza. So it's just very interesting. Seeing how things are going.
Yeah. All right. Zero. What about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I kind of agree with where Pharaoh is, or excuse me, Pharaoh Kofi is on the perspective of they're committed to this sort of Game Pass model. So like clearly, they're not going to be turning away from this anytime soon. And if this ship can weather the storm, then there could be some dividends paid out of this that they were early in the game on and sort of got into the ground floor making it happen. Because I still think part of a lot of people's issues with how Microsoft is approaching this um, is that it's disruptive and it is a different way of doing it than traditionally we are accustomed to video games operating in. Granted, I too am not necessarily a big fan of just buying everything up. Um, but at least with Game Pass, there's this sort of idea that like we're just going to try it a little bit different than everybody else and see what happens and see how this goes and see we can get it there. What I think will be interesting to look at is I think everybody saw, maybe it was sometime last year, I think, where Jason Schreier put out a tweet about if a AAA game gets on paper today, it will not be released until the next console generation. So
Mm.
theoretically, if they committed to, let's say today, if they committed to making The Last of Us 3, there's a very good chance we will not see that game until the end of the PS5's life cycle, or probably turning over into PS6, because AAA game development has gotten far more expensive. It's massive, it's big, and it just takes so much more time than what I think we're traditionally used to. Which then, at least for me, begs the question: well, what happens to the AA space? Where does that go? Who facilitates that space anymore? If Microsoft can figure out a way to become a AA king, I think that's a good space for them to be in. They've certainly still got a lot of work to do with their own first party IP, but it seems like they're getting getting that back on track. But if throughout the year we get games like Hi-Fi Rush, like that's not a bad place to be, right? Like Hi-Fi Rush is, for everything I can see about it, it's a good game. It's not going to set the world on fire like Last of Us or Halo, but it doesn't have to, right? Like there will always be those games that just come. And then there have to be the games that just exist in between all of that to keep gamers entertained, to have us talking about, um, to have a new generation of games, growing up and said like, oh man, you don't remember Hi-Fi Rush when they're our age, years down the line. So, I think everybody's already said the sort of piece about having no sense of just how much it harms sales doesn't really get us anything. It doesn't give us any insight other than that there is a loss, but there's always acceptable losses amongst doing business. It's just how much is that? So I'm just curious to see where Microsoft wants to do next with how they understand it. Um, because could they be, my thought is, it doesn't seem to be anyone who's ever taken up the place of what I thought was the PS2 strength. And part of it was the massive amount of third party support that it had. But also, like, there were just a lot of middle of the way games that were very, very good, that were very, very fun. Yes, you get your Grand Theft Autos and Final Fantasies, but there were also things like Unjammer Lammy, Taro Man, uh, Primal Rage was may or may not count. But there's always some sort of stuff in the middle that just held you over until that next big thing. And I think that's a great strategy. And for Microsoft, particularly if they can get it into Game Pass, that's an excellent strategy. And a double A game might be made by either a smaller studio or an indie studio who might love the idea of just getting their game out there, taking that lump sum and going with it, whereas they might not ever been able to get this game off the floor without it. So I hope they can, I hope they can sort of turn the ship around or just straighten it to the direction they wanted to go in. 'Cause I don't even think they're like going bad. I don't think it's a sinking ship. I just think they're still sort of figuring out what's the best direction.
I'd say there's two distinct differences though between like the more recent generations. Like I would say specifically from the PS4 to PS5 is two things. One, back when the PS2 was out and even the Xbox, like there was a lot more developers around. Like there was a lot more studios.
Absolutely.
Like just I mean like there was a arse ton more than what there is today, and that's not even factoring in studios that are still around that are doing jack shit. Like look at Raven Soft, patch games.
Konami
is another one, exactly. I would say the other problem is like another contributing factor to that is like developers these days are constantly trying to reinvent the wheel. Like you bought GTA, let's use them. Like the PS2 had 3 GTA games. All 3 were bangers. We've had a GTA game. We've had one GTA game in the last 10 years.
Yep.
In the last 10 years. In 5 years, we had 3 GTA games. It's because a lot of these developers are trying to, in essence, a lot of the time trying to reinvent the wheel when they could just be focusing. Like Rockstar, with all the resources under them, they could be developing Grand Theft Auto 6, but they could have another team, another smaller team doing like a remake or rebooting like the Midnight Club fucking series or some shit, or Smuggler's Run, or the Manhunt series.
You meant Bully.
Or Bully. In fact, Bully 2 was in the early stages before fucking Rockstar shit canned it. Like,
no, I 100% agree with you, Dante. And I don't know if it's just part of it. It's just a modern day unfortunate reality where it's like everything seems to be cannibalizing itself. right? So now it's like I can put out 3 GTAs, or I can put out 1 GTA that will
And
be
milk
a
the
constant
fuck out of
stream
it.
of revenue for me for the next 10 to 20 years. And like I get it on paper because that's what you're supposed to do, and you sure make your shareholders happy. But like that, really loses a lot from a gaming for people like us who just like to play games. I've said it for a multitude of games. Certain games can get away with it, i.e. Mario, Spyro, Zelda, because they are these sort of, you could count them as standalone experiences because they're not following the general trend. But I'm waiting for the next Naughty Dog game, and I just really hope it's not Last of Us again, because Naughty Dog is one of the best developers out here. I'd love to see what else they can do, because I know what they can do already. They can make a cool action Indiana Jones type game. They can make a cool horror game. I imagine anything they decide to do, it will be gold. But if it's The Last of Us or it's Uncharted, those are the money makers. So like, why step outside of that box if you know that the game that just has a wildly popular TV show? Why would I change that? Why would I not go back to The Last of Us? And it's
Exactly.
just an unfortunate sort of space about
You
it.
can do both, though. The rumor is they're doing both. They're
I
doing
would-
a new IP, heck, even 2 new IPs, and they're doing what we call it, faction.
I would love it. Well, factions I don't count.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, but
I
we need
made
to
it-
move on. I need to move on
Yeah,
to
I'll let it
Pharaoh
go.
now.
I'll let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Pharaoh. What are your thoughts? And okay, whoever's messing around, can you please mute Discord, please? Because like I'm just because even Dragon Yobi's like it's just someone's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, it ain't me.
Me neither.
That
What the
is
fuck
you.
is it? It is you.
I just
What's that?
muted myself to pick up
Yeah.
something, and I needed to
Alright.
move my mic.
All right, Pharaoh, please. Your thoughts.
Yeah, looking at the article, information is not necessarily conclusive that Game Pass is killing overall sales. It's just conclusive that it's killing sales of games over a 12-month period. It's not factoring DLC or anything other things that are purchased from people who are playing the game within the Game Pass service. From what we have seen from third-party outlets, MLB The Show, a Sony game, has recorded record profits year over year since going into Game Pass. So, and we also have seen Sega say that their profits have gone up to being in Game Pass. So I don't want to say that it's necessarily a gloom and doom thing. It's just, the subscription model is leading to less game sales the longer the game stays within the server. That's the biggest takeaway I take.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's open this to general discussion. Okay, now I'm sure Jubei and Pharaoh have some rope to hang Omar with. So, do you guys want to address anything now that that Omar wanted to say? Oh, that Omar said.
No, I just was asking why they would stop doing Game Pass. Game Pass is obviously profitable for Microsoft, and it's not scaring third party away. We're seeing a lot of big third party games going day one into the service. Got Wolong next month, which is a pretty big game.
We got Atomic Heart in like a week, bro.
We got Atomic.
Don't remind me. I'm too broke to buy that game.
So, I mean, it's not killing the game. Nothing from the article is saying that these third parties are losing money as a result of it, or that Xbox is losing money over it. They're just saying that the model does lead to a reduction in sales, but that's not necessarily means that they're losing money. So it's just, based on this one article, not a lot that we can take away. It's just we can speculate. We need more information.
Exactly. So yeah, you lose base game sales, but they still didn't talk about like what you gain as far as microtransactions or any of that other shit. Because you get discounts on all that shit too. So I
Just need
mean,
more
yeah, okay, it's
information.
a loss of sales, but yeah, it's just not enough info to really kind of be like, man, Game Pass is not. Obviously, it gets revenue. Like if it wasn't profitable, I highly doubt. If it wasn't making any money, I highly doubt Satya would be like, yeah, let's push this shit because I like
Here's Game Pass
spending
been since
money and not getting any of
2018.
that.
We're going on like 5 years. So
Yep.
yeah, they wouldn't still be pushing so hard 5 years in.
And they also still would be cutting deals. We wouldn't be seeing new games, new IPs getting dropped into the service day and date if it was like,
We saw what it looked like on the other hand when PS Now was basically about to get phased out until Game Pass became a thing. And they kept it around because they seen it work.
I mean, it's like, okay, they losing sales. I mean, PS Plus is losing subs like over time. Like, but we don't talk about that. But it's okay.
Yeah, quarter over quarter, I think like the past like 3 quarters they lost.
Yeah, did you ever check that, Pharaoh?
I can research it. I can look it up. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
I'm
thought
pretty
it
sure-
said
I'm
it was
sure- I'm
year
pretty
over
sure
year
that-
definitely down, but quarter over quarter it was up, or something like that. That it definitely dipped after the whole pandemic subscription.
They announced losses on this quarter, and I know they announced
That's what I'm
losses on
saying.
last quarter.
Right, but year over year it was down.
Yeah,
But it was something like within a 12, like less than 365 days that it actually had come back up compared to a prior quarter.
maybe.
Oh, what you guys need to look at that PlayStation is getting new people. 30% of the people on PlayStation, at least for the month that they covered it, are literally people that never own a PlayStation 4. So they have found a way to get the new people into their ecosystem.
Well, I mean
And-
that is a good thing, but I mean these companies make hands over fists on the services that they provide. So you're adding 30 million customers yet still losing subscribers. That's saying that the services that you're offering don't provide enough value for those customers to purchase into the service. So I mean, you can look at it both ways. It's good that people are coming into the ecosystem, sure, but how much are they spending once they get into the ecosystem? Is a whole nother thing that gotta look at.
Hey, we will see how it is.
All right. I think we can move on to the next topic then. The next topic is more of a general discussion. So I'm going to put a 15-minute time limit, 20-minute time limit on this. Pharaoh, what is our discussion? Well, the one that
What does
Omar wanted.
Xbox do if they do not get ABK?
Okay. So as the voice of reason, namaste, I will speak first. So here's the thing. The like I stated with the CMA like I stated with the CMA alternative that they said to Microsoft, like it's for me it seems more like a calling the bluff. Like they want to see if Activision will try and push it to see if they just want Call of Duty. Because I mean, I've been saying from the very beginning, and I will still stand by this. I will still stand by this statement to my dying breath. This deal is like 80% of this deal is just to get Call of Duty, like because that is the most profitable, if not the only the most profitable franchise and series that Activision Blizzard has. I would say
More
second
profitable
only
than
to
Candy
World of
Crush?
Warcraft. Okay, so I was more talking the console market, but yeah, no, Candy Crush is up there. The three most profitable ones is World of Warcraft, but that's PC only. Call of Duty, which is across the board, and Candy Crush because Candy Crush is on mobiles and idiots spend money on mobile. Like this is the Call of Duty buy. Like this for me, there is no ifs and buts about it. They're making the sales that they can get Call of Duty. And for me, the CMA thing is them calling the bluff and saying, "Oh, if it's not for Call of Duty, and if you really don't care about Call of Duty as you're claiming it to be, then fucking sell off Call of Duty, or spin off the Call of Duty developers, and we'll let the deal go through." That's how it seems. If this deal does not go through, I honestly can't. I could see Microsoft going back to the drawing board. Well, first of all, as Jubei is probably going to reiterate, so I'll crack this first. They'll probably throw some lawsuits at a couple of places, but it'll be hard to. But with the CMA, it'll be a bit more difficult, specifically the CMA and the European, because like they're government oversights. Like they're not any foundations or anything like that. They're just straight up the government oversight. So at that point, you're taking governments to court, which is that's gonna drag out longer. So you kind of got to take into consideration, cost and effect of, okay, if we're going to drag this into a lawsuit, how much is this going to cost us in the long term? To how much we're going to make, how much we're spending on this deal, and how much we're going to make. Basically, it's how quickly we're going to make this money back. But I would say I would see them, if they can't get this deal, they'll try and go for smaller developers, like ones that make good games, but probably don't. But probably wouldn't be a massive hit on the market. If anything, I could see one or two possibilities. They either go for CD Projekt Red or they go for Square Enix. Those are the two that I could see them going for. Or maybe Eidos. Go for Eidos Interactive, because then you could get the Hitman series. But I could see them going for smaller developers, but not necessarily any other big developers in case something like this happens. Because if they can't get Activision Blizzard, I guarantee you they'll probably get stonewalled as well if they try to go for someone like Ubisoft. Kofi, what do you think?
Man,
well, actually, I'm going to throw it into general discussion. Anybody who wants to go first, call it out.
Yeah, I'll just speak really quick, and anybody can interrupt me. I do think that let's say, like I was saying before, if there's some crazy reason Activision Blizzard, it fails, it falls through, there will be some other publisher Xbox has lined up, and then they'll be really obviously not as huge of an acquisition, but I think this is the direction they're going. I can't see them looking at not getting this publisher and not doing this Game Pass subscription and acquiring more studios. It's got to happen. I don't know who would be. I think they're going to really benefit from cultivating some of the studios they already own, like the Initiative, and getting talent over there. It's just a long process, and it's changing the general public opinion of first-party studios at Xbox. It's a long process. It's going to take the entire gen. So we'll see.
I could see them if the deal doesn't go through, working out some. If the buyout deal doesn't go through, I could see them working out some kind of deal with Activision to not buying them out, but to like exclusive content kind of thing. I could see them definitely doing that.
Yeah,
that seems more reasonable.
Yeah.
Is it possible for them to do something? Because I don't really know how these companies are structured. But say, for example, like clearly they want Call of Duty. It's possible for Microsoft to come in and say, "That's all we want. You, World of Warcraft, King, Candy Crush, doesn't matter. Just give us Call of Duty."
I would say that's more. That's more plausible than buying the entire company.
That would be.
I think
petty. If the deal gets
that seems like,
if the deal gets killed, and all right, if y'all want to kill the deal, we'll just buy Call of Duty. We're out. And then go back.
Because part of it is like. No, go ahead, Pharaoh. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that because that then PlayStation would really be upset because they don't care about any other games that ABK make.
Yeah, from the console perspective, it's definitely just Call of Duty. But as you said, King and Candy Crush makes, I think, more money than all of them, or at least somewhere close to it. So it's like, I don't think they want to walk away with King. it is certainly good to have in your back pocket. Just
Oh, they want King.
automatic money. Yeah, like an automatic machine that just prints money. Sure, I'll take that. But I'd be interested to know if just like, so what are you saying we can't have? Because maybe that's the question. Like, what can't they have? We know that it doesn't seem like they can have everything. So what do I got to cut off in order to get what I want?
Maybe they go after Sega.
No,
That would
Sega's
be-
way too.
I hope not.
I
That's part of the reason why.
I believe Sega. I believe the next purchase might be Sega. I don't think they're interested in Square Enix.
Oh, they definitely
Microsoft
interested in
has
Square
never-
Enix. They've tried to purchase them before.
What?
But they're definitely interested. They've tried to purchase them before. It's not like they haven't tried before.
Take a point right now. Like PlayStation being so doomed with so much business with Square Enix, I don't think being able to snatch it from underneath PlayStation and Nintendo. I think Square Enix is happy with what they're doing, especially how they're doing business with Nintendo like that. I think Microsoft is going for Sega. They have not partnership. They not grew up with Sega. Like they are close with Sega. They have the entire Yakuza franchise in Game Pass. They have Yakuza 7. They actually, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, they actually help localizing Yakuza 7 and help. I heard they also help with what you call it, localizing the voice acting and stuff like that. So clearly, they're all in with Sega. I would not be surprised if they pick up Sega then.
I really, really hope not.
I think it would be really interesting if Xbox's counter argument to these regulators is like if we can't buy all of it, we're taking Call of Duty no matter what.
And it feels
Because
like they gotta do that.
I don't think they're gonna be able to do so.
They can do that. They cannot stop that type of sale. They can't stop a business to business sale. So if Activision decides to sell off a singular studio, regulators can't stop that. So they
Would
decide
Activision sell off their
Cash
cow?
cow. No, that's where I do see a bit of a hindrance to this is like they might want Call of Duty, but if this deal doesn't go through, I don't think Activision Blizzard is going to part with one of their biggest cash cows. Hell no.
No, they're not. No.
To make. Pardon?
depending on the price.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But
No.
like, you're like, here's the thing. This might be a bit presumptuous of me to turn around and say, but if Activision offered them 69 billion for Call of Duty, Activision wouldn't take it because Call of Duty will generate that. It will generate them that in no time at all. Like you kind of got to look at it short-term game, long-term, short to long-term game. Like it will be better for them to keep Call of Duty than to take the short-term payout.
Yeah, they're literally getting Call of Duty for cheap now because they're taking the entire company with it. But if the company is saying they
$69 billion is
absolutely not gonna sell, sorry,
The $69 billion is cheap.
yeah, compared what Call of Duty would generate, that like Microsoft is able to make that what in a month? I forgot something to 30
I don't
degrees.
think like that's more than half of what like Sony is worth. That's a little bit of money.
Cheap in sense of Call of Duty is literally a money generating machine. Like that shit on its worst is still print money, like no other. So it's only rival to GTA, and that's about it. Maybe FIFA.
Pharaoh, you're getting
Pharaoh,
way too many. Yeah, you're getting
Mute
way
your-
too
mute
many
your Discord
Discord.
notifications, bro.
Sorry.
Pharaoh's getting way
Pharaoh.
too many Discord notifications.
Well,
Oh, they're
okay.
popping up on my.
The sound is.
The sound.
I
You should be able
didn't
to
see
go
it.
into some-
Okay.
You should be. I've been hearing it. I thought it was me, and I realized my sound for notifications.
And I got notifications turned off, bro. Come on.
Also, remember, if this deal doesn't go through, Microsoft needs to pay Activision 2 or 3 billion or something.
Yeah, and they still got
To
another
such degree.
60. They still got another $67 billion to spend on gaming.
Including lawyer fees and all that jazz. Like, they're gonna take a hit, not a big hit.
Lawyers
I'm
only
talking
cost
about
billions. Lawyers don't cost billions. So they would still have about $67 billion from that transaction to still spend on gaming.
yeah.
Because they still have that money earmarked for gaming. That's a lot of leeway.
One thing for sure, though, they are not gonna go after the big league anymore. They can't. Dante said it. If they couldn't buy Call of Duty Activision, they're not gonna be able to buy It Take Two or whatchamacallit, what's the
Rockstar.
other one?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Rockstar. They won't be able to.
Rockstar.
Well, no, Rockstar is part of Take Two.
Yeah, Rockstar is part of Take Two.
Yeah, like they wouldn't be able to take if this deal
Either
does
Take
not
Two
go
or
through.
EA. Either Take Two or EA. It would be the same exact situation with Call of Duty.
I do disagree. I do disagree. Buying EA is more likely than Activision Blizzard.
They would
Way more.
still need to take like EA still print money with
Not as much. Not as much. Again, here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people are generally just undermining in this entire thing. Okay? Alright? And it's what I've been saying from the very beginning. It's the reason the CMA specifically marked out Call of Duty with all of this. It's the whole fucking thing. And I've been saying it for the longest time. And I'm on record as saying this. Call of Duty is the reason why this sale would not go through. If it doesn't go through, it'll be because of Call of Duty. The reason why an EA deal would go through would actually go through over a Activision Blizzard deal is one, they'd spend less money, and two, there is competitors to a lot of what EA offers. The only difference being the FIFA and Madden stuff. So there would be your only uphill, but those are negotiated licenses. So those licenses could go to somewhere else. Like EA doesn't own the licenses for EA or for FIFA or Madden. They basically up those licenses. They have to re-up those licenses. So those licenses could go to somebody else. With Call of Duty, Activision owns that license, and unlike anywhere else, there is no competition to Call of Duty. There is no. There is absolutely no competition. Killzone is pretty much dead in the water because Guerrilla wanted to move on to something else. Battlefield pretty much committed fucking Sudoku on itself with 2 shitty entries. And that's it. There is no other first-person shooter out there that is in anywhere competitive to it.
Do we think that if it doesn't go through?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Apex.
Apex. Two differences. First of all, Apex is a free-to-play game. That's one difference. Second, Apex isn't a competitive, a full-on competitive first-person shooter like Call of Duty. It only recently added 3v3, and that's all it's got, and it's predominantly a battle royale game.
But regulators don't care about that particularly.
I mean, like Apex isn't that big.
But it's a competitor.
In the strictest sense of the word, yes.
Yes, better.
But in the same way that like Brawlhalla is a competitor to Smash Bros. They're not the same. But or multiverses aren't the same. But yeah, it's very true. Like Apex could be there. I mean, what do we think happens with Blizzard Activision if the deal doesn't go through? Just business as usual.
Business as usual.
Well, one thing
I don't think it's business as usual. because they're gonna like their relationship with Sony is gonna be forever sour because they were looking forward to getting that. They were looking forward to getting that money.
The thing is, Bobby Kotick said that two things. He said, if the deal doesn't go through, he's gonna stay. If the deal does go through, he's gonna take that parachute golden money. What? So here's the thing. I read a theory about that. What if he was the architect behind this deal in order to prevent, the authority from getting to him? Because
That
he
wouldn't
have a
stop them.
lot of skeleton in his closet.
That wouldn't
I mean,
stop
I don't think
the
there's
authorities. That's separate business. And
Yeah.
matters.
and outside of him like defrauding the company or doing
No,
something
no, no,
that
no.
out
There
illegal.
there is more. There is literally, I forgot what something called. He threatened a coworker or something like that. Like, nah, he have a lot of skeleton in his closet.
As always, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yep.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, so and as you say, a lot of skeletons and a lot of keys to keep those doors locked.
Yep.
But yeah, like so could theoretically Xbox quote unquote buy exclusivity for Call of Duty?
Mm,
They could.
Could I
that would
find
be
a
If
company
they can buy the
interesting.
whole
that could just
studio, they can buy the exclusivity.
They
Yeah,
could buy.
like-
They could buy a year exclusivity. Like they could just pull a fucking. If they really wanted to be petty, they could pull a fucking Sony and just buy a year exclusivity to the Call of Duty.
Here's the thing: I would pay $100 billion and be like, the next 3 Call of Duties are ours. Sorry, fucking deal with it. Suck it up. Y'all
'Cause they
can
could do
y'all
that,
can
right?
get
Like-
him. Y'all can get him in 3 years, bruh. Get the fuck out of here.
That would
Nobody
be-
wants
that would
them to
be
do that,
fascinating.
but they can do that. They do have the money to do that.
And regulators.
And
can't
clearly
do
their
nothing to stop
relationship
it.
with Microsoft is good.
I-
Like they want to
'cause
be
I-
with Microsoft.
I know Sony isn't paying $100 billion to them for no damn marketing. I know they're not. I know they can't
No.
afford that shit. So yeah, they could be like, hey, that 70 billion he's gonna give you. We'll give you like 15 more, and we'll just take the next 3 CODs.
But again, it
that
comes
you
down
want."
to like revenue buyout. Like, are they gonna is Activision is Microsoft gonna bet back that money on just free Call of Duties? Because I mean,
or
in 2020, Call of Duty made $3 billion in profit. So you kind of got to look at like costs to spend. So,
but when you're the only place in town that you can get it on outside of Steam, I'm pretty sure they still put it on Steam. But when you're the only place to get it in town, I mean, yeah, that means. I mean, they also could just outright negotiate a deal and buy the IP too. Like, oh, we can't buy you as a company.
yeah, which again would probably go through a lot smoother than
you
because
can't
it's buying the whole company.
You can't stop that though. It's
Yeah, no.
You can't stop them from buying the IP. They
could-
own it. You can't.
they
A
could buy
regulator
the
can't tell
IP
you, hey,
and
you
then-
can't
and then
sell
wait
it.
2
Would
years.
Activision let go of the IP though?
That's what again
If-
I said earlier. I don't see it.
They could buy the IP and be like, hey, we buy the IP. We still kick back royalties for your IP. Like that could be a thing.
No,
even if
because
they sell it,
Activision
they
wants
do
that.
that and then
Activision wants the
Actually,
IP.
no. I see exactly where Jubei is going with this. Hold on, Jubei. I will up your royalties and I will raise you. We will buy the IP and we will have you make the games, so you can still earn a profit off of making the
There
games.
you
that
fucking
makes
go.
no sense.
There
No,
you
that
fucking
makes
go.
no. That
You could-
still
they
makes
could still do that.
still makes
It makes absolute sense. 'Cause
No,
then-
it
'cause
doesn't.
at that point, Microsoft controls distribution, and at that point, they could be like, "Hey, Activision, you can make these games on everything except PlayStation, because fuck them very much."
No,
There you go.
because Activision would never let go of their own IP.
But they'd
like
still
that.
be making money off of the game.
No, it doesn't matter though, but
entire
it's still-
company, they would let go of an IP.
I don't think they would
Activision will do.
No, I don't
Activision will
think
literally do anything for
willing to
money.
get rid
Bro.
of
They
the
will literally do
entire company.
anything for money.
not literally selling one of the biggest their biggest IP. Like
If
now,
you're willing to sell the entire company, you're willing to sell parts of it.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point I make.
Like,
Yeah,
you gotta
if you're
be
willing to sell,
realistic. If you're willing to sell the entire company, you're willing to sell parts of it.
Yep.
Like you gotta be realistic.
That'll be
It just has to
interesting.
be. It
Like,
just has to be the right
like
number.
if
Right
Microsoft
number,
could
right
own,
division.
if Microsoft could own Call of Duty for $70 billion anyway, why wouldn't Activision just sell the IP when
Yeah, like
it's money?
throw like 30 billion their way. Tell them we want the IP. Okay, we've got the IP. Okay, you want to make these games?
And
Sure.
it's like we get the IP, we'll pay you to make it. You still get your royalties. Keep it off PlayStation. There you go. Good. Have a good day.
And then the regulators are really good to this.
They can't do shit about it. I mean, like I said, there's shiesty ways of getting around.
But again, this is why I turned around and said this whole discussion is pretty much why I turned around and said the whole CMA thing, like because they singled out Call of Duty, this is calling Activision on the bluff by basically seeing if they go for it. Because if they go for it, then they didn't want just Call of Duty, they did want Activision. So the purchase does seem genuine. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like just
You have
one
to be
thing.
realistic. If you're paying for 3 big franchises, you're paying for Candy Crush, World of Warcraft, and Activision, and you're telling me I only get to walk away with 2 out of 3, I wouldn't.
But that's the thing that Microsoft hasn't been making it seem like that. They've been with them turning around saying they want to extend, they want to look into the catalog and revive franchises and stuff like that. Like it seems like, okay, so you're doing this because you want the back catalog as well of all the games that Activision is sitting on but not doing anything, like Crash. Because like what aside from well, actually they did do something with Crash in fairness. Spyro, like they did Spyro, but like they only did the trilogy. They didn't make like a 4th game like they did with Crash. Like how many fucking IPs like does Activision own or are they sitting on?
Oh, Prototype, Spyro.
But they had the
Hold on, give me a
Transformers
minute.
license.
They own the Sekiro IP. They own Tony Hawk IP.
Tony Hawk, yeah.
They own the Sekiro IP? I thought they only published it.
No. Apparently they do own because there's actually a list of IPs that are going to be so there's an article by Clutch Point. The Activision Blizzard IPs included in Activision's thing. So surprised by this one. While developed by From Software, which was entirely produced by Demon's Souls remake, the Sekiro game is actually owned by Activision Blizzard.
That's crazy.
So they own the True Crime license still. Time Shift, Tenshu, Soldier of Fortune, Singularity, Police Quest, Pitfall, like Hexton, Gun. They still own the Guitar Hero license and shit like that. So I mean, there's some money like Diablo, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Sky, StarCraft. But maybe we'll get a StarCraft free. Like from everything that Activision, that Microsoft has been putting out there, they're interested in all of this, not just Call of Duty. And that's why I'm saying the CMA thing is basically calling their bluff by saying, okay, so you're interested in all of it. Well, what if we took away the most profitable? Are you still interested? Because you said you're interested in reviving all these old franchises.
But that's the thing. That's not the most profitable though. It's the mobile arm.
Yeah,
it is profitable in the console space, but King is the most profitable.
The statement alone,
shit that they got.
Yeah, it's Candy Crush.
Yeah,
it's obviously,
but like this is predominantly being seen as the console market endeavor.
It's not though. We know the truth.
The only reason that Call of Duty is a big deal is because Sony is contesting the deal because of Call of Duty.
And because and again, as I've said before, because in the console market there is no competitor to it.
If there was no one contesting if there was no one contesting this deal, it'd be done. The EU and the CMA and the FTC would not be looking into it. It's because it's being contested.
That's unfortunately one of those things we can only speculate on.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, it's like
they don't know anything about the gaming industry, so they don't know that Call of Duty is the biggest thing ever until someone told them that.
Here, the biggest thing is they're not going to be forced to divest any part of this Activision deal. Like, if they get blocked, this shit's going to go to court, and all these regulators.
I mean, as of right now, it looks like the FTC is going to go through, and it looks like the EU may go through. So I mean, the CMA is the
They
only
just
one that would.
everybody's just trying to get
Possibly
something from
hiccup.
them to look like they're tough on big tech. Like it's posturing. It's been political posturing from the fucking beginning because they don't have a court case. If they had a court case, guess what? The FTC would have been like, yeah, we're filing a federal injunction. They didn't do that because they already know.
They can't
They get their
because
fucking cheeks clapped.
Sony's been subpoenaed for information and they're refusing to supply the information.
It's not even you they could have still took it to Fed court without that subpoena. Like,
Need all information in order to.
why Sony is like, why is Sony crying about it and then
All right.
turning around?
Apparently you haven't fixed the notifications.
Yeah, they're still there.
Pharaoh.
I don't.
Yeah,
Like, I
go
don't
to
hear them coming from out of my own PC, so I don't.
What are you
No,
talking about?
they're still going off, bro. Like I'm listening to the stream, I can hear them. So
Oh, I don't.
I need you to hop in the settings, go to notifications, and just hit that tag that says turn all that disable all notifications now. That will kill it.
Yeah, so you want to turn off enable. You want to turn off enable desktop notifications. You want to turn that off, and then go to the bottom that says
where am I going? Am I
It says
down?
disable all notification sounds. Like there's one. Yes, on your like just go into your settings. It's
I'm in my
global for Discord. Yeah,
Profile.
go to notifications.
I'm blind. Oh, there we go. That's it.
Yep.
And scroll down to where it says sounds. There's one that says disable all notifications. It turns all the sounds off, like all of it.
Oh, there we go.
As disable all notification sounds, it kills it.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's all.
that right there.
Right. Because I'm not hearing it. I didn't know.
Well, now I need to listen to the YouTube stream to see if that
Yeah.
shit's coming through.
Right. Well, I think we've got everything we wanted out of this little discussion. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to add to this, we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just it's yeah. I don't fucking know.
I would just also like to point out to everybody who is watching this, if you were bothered by all of that, please send all of your hate mail over to Pharaoh.
DMs are
Anyway.
Bombard this man's inbox.
I'm sure he will take it all very seriously. Right, so the next topic, I guess it's just going over what was shown at the Nintendo Direct.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
$70?
We'll get on to that
I mean,
next.
we can get to that too.
We'll get to that next.
That is
Yeah,
topic for.
totally get into that.
That's mine.
Stick to the topic that is above your heads.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, yeah, a number of things were shown and revealed and even confirmed at the Nintendo Direct that just went. Master Detective Archives has been Raincoat got a new trailer. Ika Police has been announced as well. We're being thrown as futuristic police detectives. Fashion Dreamer as well as announced. Omega Strikers free play. Omega Strikers is fun though. Like, I will not lie, when I played of Omega Strikers, that game is actually really fucking good. I hope it has crossplay. Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective is out there now. God,
Dante, you're botting, bro.
I was
Oh,
gonna
my
say,
button.
I thought it was just me.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
It was me.
I asked in chat because I'm like, is it me? Like, I need to know.
okay, am I botting still?
No, you're
No,
good now.
You're
it's
good,
cleaned
you're
up.
good.
Like, yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
me. That's
yeah,
why I didn't say
Like,
nothing.
what the fuck?
Nintendo don't want me talking about this. Yeah, Virgin Media is after me again. Fuck that. Seriously. Again, my hope is that if they do this poll and rewire it, I'm gonna get the hub rewired into my office, so I'm directly hardlined into the fucking thing. So yeah, Detective Archives, Raincode got a new trailer. Disa Police is coming out next year. Fashion Dreamer is coming out next year as well. Omega Strikers is getting a Switch release, which Omega Strikers is actually really fun. It's basically really, really competitive at hockey. Ghost Trick,
Is he botting?
Yeah,
you're starting to bot.
You're botting for me. I'm
Yeah, you're
botting again.
botting. I couldn't understand.
Okay,
You're botting real bad.
Okay, then someone else read out these goddamn games.
Hold on.
I mean, I guess I can do it. I like Nintendo. Uh, um, great show. So, Metroid Prime Remastered. The release date for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. The return of Dreamcast's Samba de Amigo Party Central. We've got Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Of course, we already knew this. The Bayonetta Origins game, Cerza and the Lost Demon. As Dante mentioned, Master Detective Archives Rain Code. Disney Illusion Island, which looks like a kind of second coming of Rayman. The wildly excited and waited for anticipated Pikmin 4. Obviously, Legend of Zelda Trails of the Kingdom. Expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Fashion Dreamer, sure. Okay. An interesting looking visual novel with Tron, Identity, Ghost Trick, as Dante said, Dead Cells, a Return to Castlevania DLC, Deca Police, which looks fairly interesting. More DLC for Splatoon 3, an expansion plans for Fire Emblem Engage, the interesting Harmony Fall of the I think it's trailer. And of course that we know Octopath Traveler 2, which is out really shortly. Return of We Love Katamari reroll. That's going to be awesome. And the Etrigan Odyssey Origins collection, Sea of Stars, Omega Strikers, and oh no, there's a couple more. Nintendo Switch Online gets Game Boy Advance, which as Jubei told us earlier, that also comes with Golden Sun. So I'm sure a lot of people will be excited for that. The Fantasy Life game, which apparently is massively popular.
It is.
But
Bruh,
yeah,
that DS game was still trading in for like almost $50 like
that's
like
wild.
a year and a half after it came out. I was like, why? Why is this game like this? It's not even that good.
a personal favorite that I'm glad to see come back, Bites and Kaitos 1 and 2. The booster pack Wave 4 for Mario Kart Deluxe. And I'm sure to both me and Kofi's great surprise, the return of Professor Layton. And Level 5 Studios as a whole. So that is sort of the overall sort of perspective of the Nintendo Direct, which personally I absolutely adore. Like everything here was, I think Nintendo has just been speaking to me lately about like the games that they're releasing, the stuff that I want to play. It's the normal stuff. There's Mario Kart 8, which I've played enough Mario Kart for a lifetime, so there's no need for me to really get that. But Level 5 and Professor Layton, awesome. I played a lot of Bites and Kaitos growing up, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I've been waiting for Advance Wars to come, so I'm finally glad they really gave a release date to it. I am interested if they did some development work on it and changed some things, or did they just stop? Did they think people just stopped thinking about the Ukraine war? I don't know. Um, Sea of Stars looked very, very interesting, and I think that game's been uh announced for quite some time.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like that. So hopefully we get another Chained Echoes situation. So that looks awesome. If no one has ever played Katamari, please play We Love Katamari, Reroll, and Royal Revere. Katamari is probably one of the greatest games ever made. It is absolutely fantastic and perfectly designed for the Switch. So we look forward to that. For those who are into Splatoon, we've got that. But I think there's like highlights are probably like Deca Police, which is just sort of interesting, crazy looking police game where you're solving mysteries, and I think each one of them, and I might get them confused between there's two of them. That it's two police games. But is Deca the one where the characters have the special powers, or is that the other one?
Yeah, they say
blonde-haired main
special
character
powers.
driving the car in the
Yeah.
streets and all that.
Yeah, that's the blonde-haired one.
It's also being made by Level 5 as well.
Yes,
So
it is.
Level 5 one.
I've heard your voice going up, Tim.
Pikmin 4 looks awesome. Although this notably, I don't think I saw Olimar in the trailer. it's a whole group of other people. So like that'll be very, very interesting to see. I don't know if they gotten rid of him or is he just not coming back? Master Detective Archives Raincoat, that's the one with the 3 people who have like very unique special powers.
Yeah, Shimagamis.
Yeah, so that's that one. So, for me overall, I was very, very excited. And then like little things like Samba de Domingo is a game that I only knew about because it's a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And it was in the Dreamcast from like I think was that 1999 or 2000. So Kirby, I'm sure Kofi would be excited about Kirby. Bayonetta Origins doesn't look as bad as when it first showed.
Still shit.
Okay, all right. I was throwing it out there. Let's see what I got. I got nothing. All right.
I actually did think it did
There
look
is
better,
that.
but
There is that police game
Yes.
that
Which look
from level 5. That
Yes.
looks
Sorry,
good.
I will never forgive Platinum Games for Bayonetta 3. No, fuck them.
Ah.
The more and more I get away from that game, the more and more I realize, oh no, that game's fucking awful.
I think Disney Illusion Island looks absolutely gorgeous. It really does remind me of what the most recent Rayman game was, which I don't even remember how long that was. But the animation style is like awesome, and it takes I think this is what Mickey and Friends sort of look like today in their modern incantations. So I think it works very well. And of course, the big dog being Tears of the Kingdom. I'm in. I'm sold. Like Zelda has now like a hover platform. Awesome. A lot of sky play. It seems to be.
Looks a lot like Breath of the Wild.
It is Breath of the Wild 0.5.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be, but I am certainly okay with that. I'm just excited to see where it goes. Although disappointingly, I don't know why. Maybe I thought I read a rumor somewhere that like this might have co-op in it,
Ooh.
and it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Oh.
So that's disappointing. But so is this a general discussion or is this a one-on-one?
We can just generally talk about it. One, I'll go first. I think they showed off a lot of promising smaller stuff. Because let's be fair, outside of Nintendo stuff, like Professor Lighton and stuff like that, which is predominantly fucking Nintendo at this point. Like a lot of the stuff was like in the grand scheme of things, like AA stuff. Like there wasn't much AAA from them. Because I'm sorry, it is going to be a hard sell for you to try and convince me that Bayonetta Origins is a AAA game. Octopath Traveler, for as amazing as that is, you can't tell me that that's a AAA game. It's a fantastic AA. Expansion packs, like stuff like that. Like we got the typical Nintendo stuff. To be fair, Life is. Yeah, I mean, most of it looked really cool. Katamari, I'm so glad that that's back. Like, I didn't realize we needed Katamari in our lives until we saw it. More and more excited for Advanced War 1 and 2. My God, I actually need that in my life. The more and more I see it.
Have you ever played it before?
No.
Oh, it's so. I think you'd like it. It's so good.
Oh yeah, dude. If it's a strategy game, I'm all over that shit.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Obviously, some of the bigger takeaways was the fucking surprise Metroid Prime remaster that no one expected. But for me, I think it should have been expected because it seems like we need to fund Metroid Prime 4.
Thanks.
It does. Like I'm not shitting on how it looks, but like it is just a remaster on the Switch of Metroid Prime. They didn't go for all 3. Do you know what I mean? Which, quite frankly, I think would have been an easier fucking sell for. I'm not saying this is a hard sell, but it would have been like a much easier sell if they turned around and said, "Oh yeah, all the original free Prime games. Yeah, we've remastered those, and they're coming with twin stick shooting and or gyro controls, and you can play them on your Switch, and we'll sell it you for like $50, and that'd be like the biggest soft sell ever. Like everybody would have got that shit up for 50, but it's just one, and it's 40. Bruh. Come on. Come on. Stop playing.
They're gonna charge $120 for this trilogy, bro. $40 a piece.
Here's the thing. You laugh, but this motherfucker ain't wrong. Look at how much the Prime trilogy for the Wii goes for. I'm not joking. Look how much that goes for. I'm super salty that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be coming to Switch online. Mainly because I believe they're exclusive to the expansion pack. I will need to check my Game Boy for that. There's some good games coming out for it, but again, if it's just going to be part of the expansion pack, I'm going to to get access to the Game Boy Advance games, you have to have the expansion pack. Yeah, go fuck yourselves. That fucking expansion pack was like the worst fucking thing they ever did. Why couldn't they just? I would have accepted a $5 price hack if they added all of this to the original subscription. But no, they had to add a tier system. Fuck you, Nintendo. Seriously.
Hey, it's there for.
Don't start, you bitches. I'm gonna cut you off right there. Don't even fucking bother.
No,
Listen.
bro. The Mario Kart tracks alone were worth it.
Yeah.
Just those.
Go to the corner. Get in the corner.
Huh?
Get in the fucking corner.
Listen.
How many tracks? How many tracks, Toby? It's like 40 tracks, bro. What you?
No. I'm sorry. You talking about for Mario Kart 8? That's what I was.
Yeah.
Yes, for 8.
Yeah, the
40
Mario Kart that just will not seemingly fucking die.
I gotta be honest. I played that first DLC. It was like kind of good. I only played the first one though.
Bro,
It's
the
a
new
good
track they
one.
released is a brand new track. I don't think it's never existed before.
No,
Like,
and
they're
I'm fine-
legitimately
no,
making these
I'm
choices.
I'm fine with that, but I'm just sat here questioning. Where's my double dash 2? I want.
Double Dash is kind of hot though.
Yeah,
Double Dash is kind of hot. Not gonna lie.
I give you that.
See, and I bring everybody over to my side with a great idea instead of just constantly adding fucking new shit that just a game that's been a game that is older than the Switch itself. Come on, this game is literally older than the fucking Switch itself.
It's a Nintendo way.
That's-
Even if
we will
always
get
new
onto the Nintendo way. We will get onto the new Nintendo way in a moment.
No,
Dead Cells-
the Nintendo way is to charge money for their old games.
You know what? I'm hoping that the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania is not a Switch exclusive.
No, it's not. It is not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's- I
It
don't
does
think
look
it's-
fire. It does
Yeah,
look
it looks-
fire.
yeah, it looks
Oh,
really good.
right, it looks fire. Fuck right, it looks fire. It's Dead Cells and Castlevania. You couldn't ask for anything better. But yeah, like it was cool overall. It was great to see some more of not Trails of the Kingdom, by the way, Zero. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Excuse me, sorry.
I know.
Got to rep Trails. Trails.
I
Close
dare
Line.
you. I dare you.
Yeah.
Blasphemer. It looks cool. Looks like Breath of the Wild. And that's all I'm going to say for that right now. I'm going to leave it over to somebody else.
Does it
Yeah.
look $70 though?
Well, I think we're gonna come back to that,
No,
right?
hold back, Juve.
I think somebody's got a monologue, a TED talk about this coming up.
Oh,
Let's talk about the nice stuff first.
Yeah, really quick.
tell
I'm
me
gonna
what
jump
you
in
do.
because the Japanese version of the Nintendo Direct had 4 games that were not in the Western version. 3 of which I don't really care about talking about, but one of which has me pretty excited. It is the Atelier Marie remake, and Atelier Marie is the original Atelier game. It came out in 1997 on Sega Saturn and PlayStation 1, and actually had a remaster on PlayStation 2. And you know what Koei Tecmo has done is they've completely revamped it, and now it kind of has like a brand new, engine that it's running on. It does not look like Ryza. Okay, this is like a chibi, very cutesy look. But the art and the images of the characters, I think, look fantastic. The game is fully voice acted. This game will be coming west. At least I've seen it announced on a lot of, Western media coverage websites. But right now it's scheduled at least for Japan summer. And I never give myself an opportunity to enjoy the Atelier games. I own Ryza. I own Sophie. I own Ryza 2. And I that's one of the not Trails games that I'm going to be tackling this year. Definitely Sophie. and then Ryza. So, but Mary, I would love to play a remake of the OG, right? The actual original game. So that was really exciting for me. You guys already mentioned it though. The other big thing for me, definitely Deca Police. I can't believe how cool this game looks. Um, it is not common as of late for level 5 to make turn-based games. They did have some tactics games. Shout out to Jeanne d'Arc. But usually they have mech games, or they have like Inuzama 11. And Professor Layton is great. So for them to just have like another brand new IP after what we know is a not very successful financial year for console releases is wonderful. I will give a quick shout out to them because they had a mobile game called Two Worlds, and apparently Two Worlds came out and made money over out in Japan. So I was like, okay, but I mentioned this before. They have a mech/RPG game that is out on PlayStation and Switch, and is it on PC? I don't know if it's on PC, but it's called
No,
Megaton Musashi Cross, and it is just a free RPG, and it's great. I mean, I own the physical version, but the cross is an upgrade that allows multiplayer. You can do online against friends. You can do online co-op in the story mode, and it's got the touch that level 5 used to be known for. Like when you're playing Ni no Kuni, or if you're playing Rogue Galaxy, there are these anime inspired sequels, right, that
dude,
help tell a story.
Galaxy.
And here's the thing: Megaton Musashi has its own anime that airs in Japan, and it just got renewed for season 3, I think. And so those anime, cutscenes are in the game, and they're good. They're not like cheap, squares moving across the screen. You know how like anime has gotten real cheap nowadays. Looking at you, Seven Deadly Sins. These are
Yeah,
like
I have a
really
question to you.
expensive animation. Yeah, go ahead.
Is this Japan only?
Mm-hmm.
And
They won't-
it is.
And
Yeah?
and it's crazy. It's crazy that this game could have been localized, and this looks like they haven't found a publisher that's interested enough to bring it out of Japan. But the
Okay.
controls are tight, and the reason why these mech game controls are tight is because Level 5's been making mecha fighting games for 2 decades, and it's called Danbou Senki. It used to play on Nintendo 3DS, and they ported it over to Vita. I own the Vita version. It's from 2013. It's great. It's really great. And that game, Danbou Senki, has its own anime, and it's on the Vita, and it looks amazing. Like I'm literally playing this, little thing. I think it's gonna be a little cutesy robot game, and a whole like anime 5-minute sequence plays, and it's just like the first of like 30 in the game. And I'm like, Level 5 spent so much money on making sure their production is great. And it's so funny because to me, the creative mind at level 5 loves creativity, but has no idea how to spend money and market and be available. Because a lot of the franchises that are so popular over in Japan kind of died. I'm talking about what was that Pokemon competitor that level 5 had?
I have a question.
Yokai Watch. Yokai Watch. Go ahead.
That police game, is it localized?
It will definitely be coming west. It might be staggered, but it's definitely coming west because it was announced. I don't know. Somewhere they said it's going to become west, I think. I would be shocked if it's not. I don't know if Megaton Musashi will ever get localized, but yeah, Deca Police is definitely coming out. So I'm really just excited that Level 5 is bringing back not only a new IP, but Professor Layton, like Zero mentioned, and then they also have a Inuzama 11. Their soccer team anime game is also coming out. I don't know if that was announced for the West yet, but they have like 4 IPs coming out, 3 of which were announced at the Nintendo Direct. So that's really great for them. The other thing I really wanted to touch on really quick, Zero already mentioned this, was Rain Code. As big fans of Danganronpa, this is kind of like what I imagine is the next step that developer was taking.
Yep.
And finally, you have like third-person exploration. You're in a city, but then this detective work and these confrontations remind me of those climactic episodes at the end of each Danganronpa chapter, where you have to kind of figure out how to interact with people to get information. And if you find the guilty party, I think based on your insinuation, you're able to figure things out. So it's kind of like who's the guy who yells objection? Ace Attorney. Yeah, Phoenix Wright. I'm sorry. So it feels like it's just taking inspiration from some of the best aspects of other, great Japanese games. Obviously, that's Capcom. So yeah, just oh, and the one last thing I gotta mention. This will make Reggie mad, but this will make Pharaoh happy. Who looks like he's the biggest glow up. It was like Raiden level glow up. Like this dude looks like an actual badass now. In the original game, he looked like some. I don't even care about him. I'm
You
looking
look like a little
trash.
bitch.
Yeah, he looked like a little B. And in this new picture, I was like, yo, this dude look cool as heck. So I gotta give him that. And then they had a character that looked just like Fei Fong Wong from Xenogears. And to see the internet react from that, a lot. I know, right? Reggie's like, get him out of here. But Pharaoh know what I'm talking about. This guy, I love that the developers at Monolith Soft know their fan base. And showing all of them together like that was just so cool. And at some point, I have to play this series. I just don't know when it's going to be. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Shout out to Monolith Soft for being themselves.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about the Nintendo Direct?
I'm good.
Sure. Yeah, I watched it. I was at work actually when it was on. People were like, "Oh, this show was mid. It was garbage." I'm like, "Bro, I saw 10 things at this show that I'm trying to spend money on. So that's a good show." Sorry. Was it safe? Yes, it's a very safe show for them. Absolutely. Was it good? Yeah. I'm gonna take advantage of the Game Boy emulation. Hopefully it's not ass, but I'm
Don't have
pretty
your
sure
hopes
it's gonna
up.
be ass. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be ass. It's okay. Um I mean, if it is ass, I still have a Steam Deck, so I will make it work and assume the role of a one who wears an eye patch on the high seas. But no, I'm really interested in Deca Police. Um, I'm not getting, even though I know that's also coming to PlayStation. Not getting it on PlayStation. Um, just don't buy multi-plat games with PlayStation if I can absolutely help it. So, and it looks like it's going to be right at home on the Switch, like super bright, like those flashy like art style kind of games, like just fit right at home on the Switch, like, especially on an OLED. I think the biggest thing though is people that might have missed Metroid Prime first time around get a chance to dive into that bad boy. That is still a great, fantastic fucking game, even
I
after all
missed it.
these years.
Never
And
played
better,
Metroid Prime.
better controls. Sign me the fuck up. Why not? Who doesn't want that? Um, but yeah, I am also going to be one of those twits that's going to pay $70 to play the new Zelda game. I have self-respect, and Nintendo owns my soul. But
At least he fucking admits it. Don't make it any fucking better, but the fucking fool admits it.
it does not. But like, I'm ready for it. Like, if there's a game I want to spend $70 on, gotta be a Zelda game. Right?
What am I going? What are we gonna do with you?
I don't know. I spend money on nonsense. I do. Okay.
Especially that keyboard.
Don't
think-
mind.
Don't
Do
think
not
I
mind
forgot
my
about that.
Razer turret.
3 fucking years since that was brought up, and I still fucking remember it.
Yeah, you still remember the $250 I spent on a mouse and keyboard. You're right. You're 100% right.
Oh god, I'm so petty.
I'm that guy, but it's okay. And I've dabbled with Age of Empires with it on the console. It works, so I'll take it. Cool. Yeah.
Anybody
more
else have
Nintendo
anything
than
to add before I go on my
More.
goddamn rant?
Buy it now for 70, because if you don't, you understand that this game is going to be like $300 in the future when the Switch is no longer a thing.
No, okay, no, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're going on this fucking rant. Okay, right. Pharaoh, move us over to the next topic. Okay, first of all, why the fuck is this goddamn game $70? Why the fuck is Tears of the Kingdom fucking $70? I need a legitimate answer for this, because here's the thing: they've turned around and given the whole fucking Xbox jargon of we'll be reviewing it on a case-by-case basis if it's $70. Yeah, bullshit, meaning you're going to be $70 within the next fucking 6 months. Okay? No, bullshit. This is a game that, quite frankly, that doesn't look like it's taken a big graphical leap from Breath of the Wild to this game. Okay, they've moved a couple of things around. It looks like Breath of the Wild, probably plays like Breath of the Wild, maybe with a couple of different things, especially with things flying and everything. But it's still on hardware that is legitimately goddamn old. Like, so old that NVIDIA don't even make the graphics chipset anymore for it. So how the fuck they keep pumping out Nintendo Switches is beyond me. Like, they must be sitting on a fucking stockpile of it. Like, NVIDIA must have fucking screwed them royally by making them buy, like, fucking 400 million goddamn chips and then saying, have fun. That's the only reason I could think of, because why we haven't got a new Switch, a more powerful Switch, is beyond me. They are making a game that is going to run on the goddamn Switch, and they're selling it for $70. Okay, we all gave shit to PlayStation and Microsoft for doing this. So Nintendo deserves it far worse, because at least you could make the fucking argument that, you know, they're making games for brand new consoles on the Xbox Series SX and PlayStation 5. Can't make that fucking argument for the Switch. You just can't. Because the games that they've been putting out on the Switch as of late ain't been running well for shit. They just haven't. Looking at Bayonetta 3 for you. Like, that game runs like ass. Like an uncapped frame rate that drops all the way down to the mid fucking 20s.
This is still first party though.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
If the frames are solid, and the game is good, it'll be $70.
It still won't, because I won't fucking buy it. Again, I'm going on a rant specifically for me. I do not agree with $70 games in a broad sense of the word. Okay? I just don't. But I severely do not agree with them when you are making it for antiquated technology that has been around for, when the fuck did the Switch come out?
2017.
2017. We are on a fucking console that is approaching six fucking years old. The 2 years after this fucking console came out, it was outdated. And now we have the goddamn fucking Steam Deck out there that just pile drives this thing into the ground with no lube required. And yet Nintendo can't get off their asses and turn around and say, you know what, maybe we should bring out a new console. We've got a new Legend of Zelda coming out, so maybe we should do it. Because there's a precedent for them doing this. They fucking held off releasing Breath of the Wild until the Switch came out. So why the fuck can't we just get a new goddamn console? Okay, I'm done. Anybody else got anything they want to add to that?
Because they can.
That is nice. The problem because y'all are fucking sheep. Y'all
I don't.
Bitches.
Because the fan base gonna eat it up. Because the fan base gonna defend it. And here is, and I covered it on my show. But what make it worse with Nintendo is their games ever go on sale. So that's gonna be a double issue to focus on.
Not just that, I would also just like to point out, over here in the UK, this is something that should be stated. I don't know how it is in the US, but this is just something in the UK that I've noticed. You will find a PlayStation 5 game that's on sale right now for £30. And it was released like a couple of months ago. Okay? There are Switch games that outprice those fuckers pre-owned that came out 5 years ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nintendo, pre-owned physical Nintendo games do not go on set, do not drop in price even on pre-owned. They just don't.
Yeah. Like this is my biggest issue with this whole $70. Which two things: no new hardware to justify it, no new stuff in it to justify it, like ray tracing, and anything like that. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And then yet you want to charge 70 for it, which again they're gonna say case by case basis, but we all know the first party is gonna be 70 moving forward, and the film is gonna eat it up, sadly.
Like the PlayStation fan base.
Yep. I mean, say
At
anything.
least
Nintendo's
with
games,
PlayStation, but
no, Nintendo's games keep their value somehow. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know why Smash is still damn near $60. I don't know why Breath of the Wild still up there. Like it's crazy. It's a phenomenon that I don't have an answer to besides Nintendo.
I have a theory. I have a theory to why Switch games cost so much. It's because Nintendo fans do not sell them. Like they keep a hold of them. It is a supply and demand thing. Like we do not have many of these games in, so we must sell them at a higher price to cut that cost.
I will say
Yeah,
that
like-
there are a lot of reprint companies that are kind of coming in and reprinting Switch games. Like, what's that one that Platinum Games made? It's a Switch
Okay,
exclusive.
I'm looking at this.
Yes,
I'm
Astral
looking
Chain.
at this.
Yep.
Look at this. Fucking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. How long ago did that come out? Like 6 years ago? This motherfucker is still £38. It's over $40.
Yep. Still is. Still selling too. That's the wild part. It's still selling.
That's the mad.
It's still it's
Dude,
ridiculous. It's top
fucking Breath of the Wild. If I wanted to buy a pre-owned version of Breath of the Wild, I'd be spending more to buy a pre-owned copy than I would to buy a pre-owned copy of Smash Ultimate.
I told you that. I told you that's
I want to headbutt a desk.
Nah, it's just what it is, bro. Zelda is worth $70.
It's not.
It is. It is.
how is it? What does it
Unfortunately,
have?
is.
Anything new from the other Zelda?
It's got flying.
I'm
Can it do ray tracing?
gonna put it. It doesn't matter about ray tracing. I don't
Most people
like
couldn't
fuck ray
identify
tracing,
what
bro.
ray
Stop
tracing
it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you got a PC, fuck ray tracing. Stop that shit.
The Switch with ray tracing. You can't see shit.
Absolutely not. But here's my
half
thing.
a frame a second.
If you don't think Zelda is going to sell, I don't know what rock you live under. I don't know.
I
just
never
don't
hold
know.
up. I never said any of that. The opposite. I actually said their fan base gonna eat it up, aka
It's not
you.
just their fan base. Zelda is just that franchise. Like it doesn't matter what the game is. It does numbers. It just is.
Here's the thing, though. I am seeing a lot of discontentment over the $70, but mainly also because, like, not in some of it isn't even directly towards the $70. It's the fact that they're increasing the price, but we still don't. But there's still no new console. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. Like, if it isn't because of the $70, it's because of they just. It's because there's no new console.
They need to maximize the Switch sales, and then we're gonna get.
Dude, it's the third best-selling console of all time.
Yeah, I'm talking about the sales for the title. They want to take advantage. They want to take advantage of that install base real quick, and then make sure it's playable. Make sure it's playable on Switch 2 or whatever the fuck.
Facts. There's gonna be a re-release of that Zelda game.
Yep.
They're gonna re-release it at
new
$70 again on the new hardware.
And to be fair,
and the Switch version is going to be $64.99 by the time that
$64.99.
and to be fair, like Jube kind of keyed in on a nice word here. It is I think it's a fascinating phenomenon to watch what is happening with Nintendo and the Switch specifically in their games. You can blame the fan base, that's fine, but like fan base, quote unquote, if we will, right? Like that's just sort of the people. Once again, that's our Twitter people. Just like the regular people who buy video games and jump into Zelda, like what is bringing them to this space? Like, why are they choosing Zelda? Maybe they might not be choosing over it, but let's just say, why are they choosing Zelda over God of War? Why are they picking Mario Kart over Horizon?
Because their parents wanted to get them a game to shut them up, but didn't want to get them anything ultra violent.
No, well, you gotta think about there's still adults here who aren't really that tied into the gaming space. Yeah, I mean they're children, absolutely. But it's fascinating to watch this system specific rise to be the third greatest selling system of all time. Will probably
What's it behind still? What's it behind still?
PlayStation 2 is one of them.
PlayStation 2 and maybe the
GameCube.
PS4.
Super Nintendo?
Give me a minute. I'll look it up.
Nintendo.
I think it's PS4, or did they take over PS4's spot?
Took over
They
PS4.
they
Gotta
over
be Super Nintendo.
Oh,
Or 3DS? I don't know if you're including handhelds or not.
Yeah, they do count handhelds because it
I think
overtook
it's the DS probably. Probably
It
DS.
took it. No, it's oh, for God's sake, give me a minute. I'm looking.
Well, while Dante looks, it like I wonder if people are like sort of studying this or whatever.
DS is second, PS2 is first.
So it's DS. All right.
It overtook the PS4 and the Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Like, what it is about this that like makes it work for so many people? Because all of these people just can't be like gamers, capital G gamers. What is it about this system and
portability?
What is it about these games?
Yeah.
That is pulling people in and like has them in a chokehold. Like there is no
because
reason.
Okay, let me explain to you really goddamn simple in the simplest of goddamn terms. Why? Because Nintendo is a handheld, portability, and has no competition.
That's very true.
Very
There
true.
is
Very
true.
The Steam Deck is a niche. No. Even I'll admit the Steam Deck hits a niche market like me, Jube, enthusiasts, and people who want really good gaming on the go buy a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
People who want convenience buy a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That is why the Steam Deck. That is why the Switch has sold as much as it did because it's it's been the only one to do what it's been doing for literally the past 6 years.
You're not wrong. Because like the Wii made sense. The Wii sold itself on this like fun family move around gimmick. I understood that. Everybody like understood what was happening here. And obviously you're right. Like the portability,
and it was so a lot of fat people could turn around and say they got their 5 hours of exercise in a day.
Hey man, I'm still on the hook. I need to get Ring Fit Adventure because apparently that joint is also pretty solid.
It is pretty solid.
Yeah, get a good workout in that joint.
Wow.
So like I don't know, man. And then like if you're a company, part of your incentive just has to be like, I am sure there are developers who want to do other stuff and want better hardware to do it with.
But you can't say no to that install base though.
Yeah, but when Mario Kart,
when do we hit the ceiling? When do we hit the point of diminishing returns? Because at this point, even the Nintendo diehards.
I think it stops. I think it stops with Zelda. I think Zelda is the last big thing.
Kind of-
I don't think we're not gonna get another Mario on this Switch. They gotta save that for the next thing.
And really quick,
I just got to be honest. Let me just get this in. The reason why is because and this isn't me just being. This isn't me being the PC master race her fucking 60 frames per second guy. This is just me talking from a playable frame rate. Like, just don't so it doesn't strain or kill my eyes perspective. How many times am I gonna have a Shin Megami Tensei 5? How many times am I going to have a fucking Age of Calamity? How many times am I going to have a Bayonetta 3? Where the frame rate is so all over the place that even a fucking 30 frames per second plebeian like Omar can notice the damn drops. Like, how many of those are the Nintendo fanbase going to accept? How many times are you going to accept fucking Pokemon dropping to frames that low?
They don't even have dedicated voice chat. They don't care.
And they don't need it?
I would agree. I would agree with this.
Yeah.
I would turn around and say the Switch hasn't necessarily had the room to need it because it hasn't massively prided itself on games that require communication. Like Smash doesn't require communication, really. Splatoon's probably the only one I could think of, and they've got a fucking app for that. But like outside of that, I can't think of any. Like, it doesn't have a Call of Duty or anything like that where team communication is a factor in winning or losing.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Sure.
And wait, to my knowledge, I'm fucking sure that it does actually have. It doesn't have dedicated, but it does have. It does have a form of voice communication because I mean, my headset works with it.
No,
Well,
Omar was talking about voice acting, not voice.
yeah,
chat.
yeah. Oh, voice. Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, with that, I do put that down to. Well, with Nintendo, I put that down to just their unwillingness to be fucking just to grow the fuck up. Because I mean, the only reason we didn't, I guarantee you, the fucking reason we didn't have full voice acting in Breath of the Wild is still because they were thinking about it, and then someone walked in with a fucking CDI, and then all of them recoiled in fear.
Actually, I mean, this one might have the voice acting we want. We'll see.
Hopefully.
If it does, okay. If it does, it's worth $70 just for the voice acting.
Okay, you know what? Come on, please slap this man. You have my permission, and you can say it's for me. Just slap him upside the head. I want to see that dread wave fly off his head.
The only thing that's not worth it to me is that damn collector's edition that they're trying to peddle. That shit's some trash. That shit is some hot trash.
What is that? 110, 120?
It is $130 motherfucking dollars.
Ooh, what's in it?
Yeah, big oof. Nothing. Fuck.
Hold on, let's see.
It's not good. It's really not good. It's literally one of the worst collector's editions I've ever seen. It's trash. Like, look at what you got with Breath of the Wild versus this one, and you're just gonna be like, oh, what are they doing with those? $129.99 gets you the game, a steelbook, a piece of art, a pen set, and an art book. Get the fuck out of here. 100% get the fuck out of here. I'm not seeing an extra $60 worth of shit coming with this collector's edition. There's no statue. Like, I don't care about pens. Them pens ain't worth no damn $60. Neither is that damn art book. That's like 20 pages. Like, come on. Shit is awful.
I just don't know. Like, Cody,
like, look at it. Like,
kids would like a Switch game.
What'd you say?
Do you think your kids would like a Switch game?
Yeah, they would.
Like,
I mean, like, they are really into that game we played when you came over, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
right?
They
Yeah,
thought that was the coolest thing ever.
right. And you know, a friend of ours, Kofi and Pharaoh, was in town, Desmond, and he a big Pokemon fan. I just asked him like, "Hey, did you finish Pokemon?" He's like, "No," largely because he gets high a lot, and doesn't do well in open world environments. But never once did he bring up, and we talked about it for a while. But never once did he bring up the framework.
Yo, I've been meaning to talk about that too.
Like never once did he bring it up, and like it's impossible to miss. But it just didn't seem like it was something. He was like, so long as I can catch Pokemon, I'm good. That's all I really care about. And I feel like he's probably the majority of that.
Same friend of mine,
my
my wife's cousin got that new Pokemon game. I'm sorry, you're talking about the same thing. Yeah, he was like, frame rate's kind of weird, but I'm having a great time.
Like, it's fine.
I was like, oh,
Still
okay.
got my Quaxley, so I'm good. Like, it's not a problem.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, the greater market, they just
seems to love
go.
The casuals just flock to this console. It is the casual console.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up really quick. So I remember this. Maybe you remember this, Reggie. Reggie Fils-Aimé had the same mindset for the Wii when we were all waiting for a successor to the Wii, and the Wii U eventually came out. But I remember him getting asked, "Hey, this thing is at 95 million units sold. Like, what is next? I think you guys have pretty much exhausted it." And remember, the mentality around the Wii around this time, I was frustrated with Nintendo. At least in my opinion, third-party and first-party support was nothing like Switch right now, right? You wouldn't see like a Witcher-esque type of AAA game on main consoles being ported to Wii. At first, they had started to do that, and like the Wii Virtual Console was kind of cool, but it was anemic It was like, go get your little Wii Waggle sports, play some tennis, and we're good. So those last 2 or 3 years on Wii, I mean, it was like bad. Like, not people are saying this is bad. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Are you
it was
kidding me?
real
The
bad
number of
in Wii era.
JRPGs that we're getting and all these other crazy third-party ports. And you know what Reggie said? He said, well, I know we're at 95 million, but we're at least gonna break 100 million before we think about the next one. I remember that. And the same mentality is going on right here. But I will say, at least for me, I'm kind of on the outside. I own a Switch. I own some games. I got Sparks of Hope. I got Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I got Bravely Default and some other games. But I kind of look on the outside like some of them IPs look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like that Front Mission that unfortunately is only on Switch. That look kind of good. Or Code Rain only on Switch. Look kind of good. So,
But does it run good?
that's true. It may not.
By the way,
It may
I
not.
looked up the Tears of the Kingdom. I looked up the Tears of the Kingdom collector's edition. My apologies. I think I got cut off by saying this. Yeah, all it does is come with an art book, an icon art, steel poster, steel book game, a pen set including 4 pins, and then the collector's edition box.
That's trash.
That's it. That's trash for $130. It's garbage.
Ooh.
It
There's nothing in there.
doesn't even come with a fucking statue. Fuck, that shit should come included with the fucking
Can somebody
amiibos.
put that shit up on the screen? Because I'm sitting here, I'm looking, I'm like,
I
I'm
wanna
not
see
seeing $130 worth of anything here.
Let me screen. I'm gonna screen share this shit. This is the fuck. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. What is this?
It's trash.
Like
It's
not even a
garbage.
custom amiibo, which is
Oh,
very
you need
Yeah,
Pharaoh
you
to
should
click.
get it
You
on
actually
the
need
Amiibo.
Pharaoh to click on it.
Yeah, you should get
Go ahead,
you should
Pharaoh.
get the amiibos with this. You should.
I mean,
Wait, I don't see it. You got to show it.
I am. I'm.
Oh, my bad. I think
Pharaoh.
my bad. I think the
Pharaoh has
stream
to
might be
click live
behind.
stream.
Oh, I have to. There we go.
Now we see the chat.
Uh,
What are you doing, bro?
I
You
cannot
told me
wait
to
until I
click
get
on
my
the
internet
stream.
fixed. I really can't.
You told me to click on the stream.
Yeah, it's down there in the corner. Like you should just be.
That's
you
what
should
I
just
clicked
click on his,
on.
like, Dante, what
Yeah.
tab you on?
I'm not. What do you mean? What tab?
It's showing advanced civilization.
What?
Advanced sci-fi
What the
civilization.
fuck? It shouldn't be showing that. I picked a different.
There we go.
What the fuck?
There we go.
What the?
Yeah.
Why the
So
fuck
just the
did it do
steel
that?
book is like the only highlight.
What?
But like, look at this. Look at this bullshit, bro.
And
Like,
the steel
there's
book
no
don't even look
way.
that cool.
It
Looks like the old
don't.
Monster Hunter art.
This
Yeah.
shit is whack. This whole collector's edition is whack, y'all. They got fleeced. It's sold out. People got
sold
fleeced.
And I'd also like to point out, here's the thing as well that you need to remember as well. That steel poster has got to fit in that fucking box. That ain't gonna be a big
It ain't
poster.
very big.
And
It's the size of a piece of paper.
And I'm also gonna fucking turn around and say this as well. That has got to be one of the most boring Zelda posters I've ever fucking seen. I could get my fucking calendar from my room that is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it has better art than this.
Yep.
I'm gonna go and fucking get it, in fact. I'm gonna close this and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go and fucking get that goddamn post. I'm gonna get that fucking calendar.
So Pharaoh, what you feeling about $70?
I mean, I think it just validates what we've been saying the entire time, that it's never really been about, making better games. It's been about making more money. And I mean, they want to make more money, then that's
All right,
their way
let's
of
have a
doing
look at a
it.
calendar that has better fucking art. Oh god damn it! I think I got to turn. I'll turn this off for a moment while I show this off.
So,
One mo.
I mean,
Okay, there we go. Right, let's see. Right, bam, much better artwork.
That's better art.
so,
Bam, better
Better
artwork.
art.
Bam, better art.
so
Bam, better art. Bam, better art. Bam, better art. Bam.
That right there. Like, yeah, bro, you're killing me.
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam.
I just could not
Right.
believe it. I saw that collector's edition. I was so disappointed. I was like, bro, they couldn't even match what they gave us with Breath of the Wild. Like,
because that's your bread and butter, the collector's edition.
yeah,
They definitely gonna
basically-
re-release this for the next Switch with a super cool one next
It's
time.
going to be the best collector's edition ever.
Mhm. Everybody gonna get scammed on this one. And they had to
bro. If I don't get an edition that comes with at least a 1/3 scale of the damn Master Sword, I don't want it. Like, I'm at that point right now.
No, for that much, it better suck your dick as well.
For $130, I need a Master Sword replica at least, or a Hylian shield, something. But poster and pins ain't gonna do it. We couldn't get a statue with this joint. Awful.
And you know why that is? Because Nintendo don't love you. They
No.
love your wallet.
You got a statue in like a fucking Switch case with Breath of the Wild. That Master Edition was nice. You got a little CD, you got the game, you got a map. You actually got some. I don't want no fucking pen set.
Even Animal Crossing had a custom Joy-Con. They had a whole
Dude,
custom switchboard.
Well, you know what? And I'm fucking certain I paid less than that for the fucking Nightmare Edition of Bloodborne, and I got more than that.
Yeah, that Nightmare.
And
Edition
that
was cool.
came with a fucking pen set, like an actual feathered pen with blood ink
Yeah,
in
they
a
got
big
me fucked up
giant.
on that one.
What?
I said they just got me fucked up on this collector's edition. It ain't it.
No, but you'll defend $70.
I
But
will
again,
still get the base game. But
again, what are we gonna do?
They could
with
have got
you?
more from me. They could have got more from me if it was a more attractive offer, but it is not.
Yeah. All right, I think we're done ranting about Breath of the Wild's fucking thing. So let's get to some outros. All right, Kofi, give us your outro. Where can we find you, my guy?
Guys, as usual, you can catch me at creative_Kofi on Twitter. And for once in my gaming career, since the Trails take over in 2019, I'm actually making good progress on JRPGs. So now that I am closing on the final chapters of Disgaea 7, the next game is Dragon Quest X Offline, which I've already started. So I will be playing that, and it is the road until Octopath Traveler 2, at which point I think there will be a JRPG hiatus, traditional JRPG hiatus, because
Make
of
your
Wolong.
mind up, man. Damn it.
I wanted to make
Kind of
sure I
hiatus.
didn't want to make sure of Wolong, because Wolong, it's an RPG inspired game. So yeah, Wolong is going to be taken over in March. So yeah, excited to be posting on Twitter, lots of reviews and things like that.
All right, cool. Jubei, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else, and Busmokage on Twitter. I will be doing another. I've streamed like 8 hours of this damn game. I will be doing a part 3 of my Richard Grande and the Order of the Peanuts stream series.
Somewhere else.
What's up?
I thought that was going somewhere else.
Oh no!
But thank
I
God
mean,
you
it
said
is like
Peanuts.
the
Get your
name-
minds
the
out. They've
name
got a
is
voice.
absolutely no. The name is absolutely that kind of joke, like for sure.
That's why I thought it was going somewhere else.
Yeah, no. But yeah, that one particular magic game just scratches an itch. That yeah.
I don't care to know about your crabs, man. Just get on with it.
It's not crabs. I don't even think there's a crab enemy in that game. But yeah.
Next one they have is going to be a crab.
Shut up. But yeah, gonna be some more of that. Definitely some more of that, and hopefully y'all can come through and enjoy some shenanigans.
All right, Pharaoh, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Pharaoh Bizarre and anywhere you enjoy watching streamers at the Land of Pharaoh.
All right, cool. You can find me at Dante Crisis on Instagram, Twitter, the Dante Crisis on Facebook. My streams are all over the place because my ISP, my internet service provider, are nothing but twats. But currently doing a let's play of what is my current let's play right now? God damn it. I'm not organized. My current let's play is Half-Life Opposing Forces, as well as Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, which is somehow better than the base game. Go figure. That's what the power of the super shotgun will do for you people. And future Let's Plays is going to be Dead Space remake, because it is one of the best. It is the top 3 best remakes of all time now, as well as South Park: The Fractured Butthole. So yeah, Zero, where can people find you? But more importantly, where can people find us?
Real quick, Dante, what class did you pick in South Park?
In South Park: The Fractured Butthole, the first one I picked was Brutalizer, because that finisher, holy shit, that ultimate's fucking brutal.
All right. Well, guys, it is an absolute blast to be back with everyone. I've missed this quite a lot, so I'm very, very happy to be back here. Hanging with the bro, yelling, talking, having a good time about video games. You can, of course, find me 0x386 or 0.exe pretty much anywhere. But more importantly, uh, finding us, Vitamin G Podcast, where any of your favorite podcasts stream, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, just straight up YouTube, because we're there. Like, just give us a like, give us a listen, give us a comment, laugh, love, all the type of stuff you, all your other favorite podcasts. Hopefully, we're there with you. Because as we get into this new year, you will be presented with a lot of opportunities to listen to a lot of things. And that we appreciate that you take the time out to listen to us, because you literally could be doing anything else and you decided to listen to us anyway. So we'll always appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Check out all of our guys. Omar looks like he had to drop, so please check out Omar. We all go separately and do our own thing. So support our team. Look out for us. We are in these video game streets. So always thank you.
Yes, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, to keep it gaming. Okay, we out of here. Peace.